should be up to you for when you use it. Because, you know, we are talking. Big. The house just explodes.
Yeah.
Character dies.
Just kill you off whenever I want to, you know. That's a pretty awkward thing to say as the first thing on stream. The stream just started as I said, I'll kill you all, basically.
I mean, as you do.
Antinomy kills children. You heard it here, folks.
Uh-oh. I've been captured and cornered by my own group. Ooh, what music's this? Oh, Konosuba. Okay, cool. Very, very happy and upbeat.
Yeah, hello YouTube.
Hi, Mom.
Okay.
Everyone wave to the
So-
camera.
I have done my entourage a whole one time, ever.
Yeah, so let's talk about your entourage this time.
I don't have anything to be my entourage. We're in the middle of nowhere.
Actually, there are a few baby Pokemon here. Digimon! Hi! Yes! Digimon here, right?
Yeah, so we're currently in Digimon's village, and in Digimon's village there's a plethora of Digimon that you could have as an entourage, who might accompany us into the Dark Zone. Alternatively, we can wait until a little bit into the session and you can have some of the denizens of the Dark Zone become your entourage.
I would much rather that. One
Because,
thing,
you know, lead the babies into the deserted wilderness of destruction and death and mayhem.
I mean, they don't have
Why
to be
don't you,
babies,
Zach?
it's just that so far Zach's only picked babies.
Oh no.
because I need an entourage, not like 2 guys. I need a group of bystanding Digimon, not 2.
We enter Dark Zone, we save a bunch of Digimon.
Okay,
When
so-
have we, like, ever saved any Digimon? To be honest.
That one time. You know the one.
We...
And then this happens.
Yeah, so you can just do it at any point during an episode, so just, yeah. Whenever you want, just say, this group is now my entourage, but obviously don't make it so that the main villain becomes your entourage or whatever, it just has to be like side NPCs.
I was about to say.
Yeah, you can't just
Pilomon
go...
is my entourage. Pilomon's mine now, sorry. It's just how it would be.
Yeah, Pillamon just loves Zachary, there's no two ways about it. Yeah, so, shall I get one of you to do the previously, or do you guys just not remember what happened, like, 4 weeks ago? And want me to do it? It's up to you guys.
Well, I remember.
Last time, I think what happened was that Pilomon, who was being possessed by her dark past, was being led into the forest.
Mhm.
And Sonia and Zachary, if I remember correctly, were chasing after her. And then also Boogimon just was also going in that direction. And Daisto went to fetch Kagayaki, and then we all kind of converged around there with the stone that was totally not somehow seen previously in a flashback at all, and had no connection to Kyujimon whatsoever. And then then there was an epic battle of like all kinds of randomness, and in the end, it turns out that Boogimon evolved to Felesmon and just kind of flipped us off and left for the Dark Zone.
I remember
Pretty sure that's
Felismon leaving a little bit differently. So I'm just going to clarify. Felismon left on mixed terms. So it wasn't he flipped you off and left. It was he accepted that he couldn't bring his friend back and decided to carry on his legacy himself. So Felismon is going to basically fill the void that Gulfmon's left, or at least attempt to do so. So that's something that'll probably come up much, much later, and not like in the next couple of episodes, but I just thought I'd clarify that, because obviously it's been a couple of weeks and not everyone can remember every detail. So yeah, that happened. We're currently back at Digimon's village. And you guys are preparing to set out towards the Dark Zone to complete, well, not complete a mission, but to protect the statue that is there from the forces of the Sorcerymon brothers.
Right, the statue. I fucking forgot about the statue.
I didn't.
I mean, I wouldn't blame you. It's been a while since we've actually talked about the statues.
I'm sure the statue would be fine. It has a very specific shield.
A very specific what? Sorry, shield.
Yeah,
Yes.
a very specific barrier around it that stops very specific things.
I'm sure it does. But
That's what we were.
I may not have remembered that if there was a barrier around the statue.
It stops evil, and I asked what is evil, and he said some really vague shit.
Oh, you mean the actual barrier around the Dark Zone?
No, not
No,
this
he-
one. The earlier. The one in the
The
canyon.
one on
I guess?
the one on Gaiamon.
Yeah.
So what does the one on Gaiamon do? Sorry, I may not have remembered about this.
Pretty sure that the barrier was the one we were talking about was what the Chronomon
What?
State, yeah.
The one that you said Chronomon left a barrier on the statue.
I'm pretty sure I remember Digimon telling us there's a barrier protecting the statue. So
I remember him saying that he's keeping a barrier to keep the forces of the Dark Zone in the Dark Zone. I don't remember there being a barrier around the actual statue
Yeah.
itself, just that the statue is made from Chronomon's life source.
that's even worse.
There was...
Only the shit that wants to break the statue can be near the statue. Yes, brilliant.
I also want to remind you that due to consequences from flashbacks in a while ago, that statue is haunted by Chronomon destroy mode. But,
Oh yeah.
Yay!
but,
I'm helping.
We can get
Powers
to
of
that.
work done.
That is going to be fine. Yeah, that's a certified. Don't worry about it.
I'm sure everything will be fine, guys. Come on. I'm not gonna lay any traps. for you or anything.
What's the worst that could happen?
Oh no,
I'm
not that flag.
I mean, it's not as if Daisto isn't literally about to retire tomorrow or next week. You know,
He's getting there.
do you want to see a framed picture of his children?
Yeah. So, you're setting up Kageaki. You're setting up a TV for to maintain communication with Digimon and his town, and also set up communications between that town and File City. Well, not File City, Icon City. And you've just finished tinkering with the telly, and the monitor turns on. You see all of the denizens of Icon City kind of like staring too close to the screen. Monitormon getting very angsty and a bit weirded out by how many people are crowded around him because he's very shy. The communication's now set up between those two cities.
Ooh.
The giant screen is introverted.
Okay, guys, how about we give Monitamon some room here?
I mean, okay. Cute Mon, don't steal Mon's bunny.
Not
You-
quite. I'm not okay then.
Monitormon's in Icon City, Zach.
Well, my point stands.
Here's the horse, good mom.
Q1's there like too late, and he like lifts out a whole bunch of bits. Not joking. No, he I think everyone in Icon City backs away from the Monitormon, and I think we have like the mainstays of the city sort of sat at a reasonable distance. We have like Wizardmon, who's recovered from his mugging. There's not Yukidaramon, Tsuchidaramon, and Leomon, obviously, all sat around the screen, basically inquiring as to how your journey's going and have you managed to secure the statue. They want to ask about the one in Grey Canyon particularly, because they heard reports of explosions and some metal Greymon tearing up the area around there. And they're
Steel
quite
Greymon.
Old news. Also, the name is Steel Greymon.
Steel Greymon.
Body shamer mode.
Yeah. Actually, what we wanted to ask you is how are you treating Snowgormon from now on? Did you set him free?
Yes, as per your request, we set him free. He's currently working with Leomon to protect the city. We're very sorry.
Isn't he dead?
No, Snuggermon's not dead. Snuggermon.
No, Leomon.
Leomon.
He's not dead either.
Leomon was
No.
cured by Taisto's moment of truth.
Oh, right.
Burning people
He
at the
was
stake
briefly
actually helps
dead.
them.
He was dead for a little bit. He got better though.
He was briefly dead and then resurrected
Yeah.
by the Sorcerymon brothers.
He was dead and then he got better.
Yeah, he
That's
got
all
better.
humans do.
Yeah, he's currently so they explained that Snowgamon or Hyugamon or Ice Ogamon or whatever you want to call him is currently working as part of the guards for the city, which is currently just basically Leomon and only Leomon. So they've bolstered up their defenses with Snowgamon as well. And that he's also being the subject of not experiments per se. Wizardmon puts it as experiments to you, but it's more so he's studying Snowgamon in an effort to figure out how he was brought back to life, because obviously his wife in the first arc and him wanting to bring his wife back to life, and if he can do it through non-violent means, then he's going to try and pursue that path, I guess.
Wait, when did Wizardmon have a wife?
No, Mummymon's wife.
Ah.
I mean, I feel
Right.
like Arcnemon should have already been revived at this point, like living her second life.
Who knows?
She's not been revived for certain reasons that I don't think you found out yet.
I see.
Ooh.
Well, why did you tell us that then? Anyway, I hope that this I hope sincerely that this experimentation happens with Snowgormon's consent.
I think, like, you from what you saw last time, Snowgamon is incredibly repentful for what he did, and he is doing everything in his power to sort of work off that sort of debt that he owes the city for destroying it several times over.
That's not
Sure.
consent. That's him being under duress.
No. It's if he wants to do it, then he wants to do it. But just doesn't hurt to make sure. But
Also,
I'm very glad. I'm glad to hear that he's straightened his acts out and he's working as best as an exemplary citizen of Icon City to better the entire place. And I'm sure that everyone here can learn of his example and see that not all virus Digimon are bad.
In fact, the vast majority of them aren't bad, I would even say. Digimon.
It was
I think
subtle.
Digimon lets out a big cough. He's like, less about that, Zachary. We can discuss our clash of ideologies later.
There's nothing to discuss about that. Anyway, excellent. That's all we wanted to hear about Icon City, I'm sure.
So also there's the fact that Mummymon and Snowgamon are old friends, so he's more than happy to help out an old friend. Because obviously he's.
I wasn't actually, or Daisto wasn't actually questioning whether or not there is consent involved. He just wanted to make sure.
Yeah, there is definitely consent involved, and there's lots of research going on into how the Sorcerymon are bringing Digimon back from the dead. which may become useful to you later if you were to prevent it or purify or whatever.
It seems like, I mean, if Snowgremon's any example, it doesn't seem like them being brought back to life is inherently a bad thing. It's just an unexplained thing.
Yeah, so we found out that Snowgomon was a big exception. Every single Digimon that's been brought back by the Ice Powers hasn't had any reasoning in their head, except for Snowgomon and Ice Leomon.
Wait. He's a perfect now.
No, he's back to
No.
He's back to
all right. So quick recap. Leomon died and then was revived by the Ice Powers as Pangemon, and then Pangemon and Flame Wizardmon had a fight, and Flame Wizardmon evolved to Mistymon, and then Mistymon basically scorched the ice out of him, and all the bits that flew out of him left him as an adult level Digimon again. So he's back to Leomon. Questions?
I don't think that's how evolution works, but I'll take your word for it.
It does, of course, it does.
Well,
because in this, it's been established that bits equal evolution. So when he was being scorched, he got the ice scorched out of him. It also burned a whole bunch of bits, and he was reduced back to Leomon.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not a perfect.
Not a perfect.
He's not a perfect. No.
Not perfect. He's not perfect anymore.
He never
He's
was.
imperfect. Gosh. Sorry, what was my train of thought before we were discussing that? I've forgotten where I was.
That's a very good question.
My
Well,
brain
we
just
were
disappeared.
talking.
They asked about the statue, which we can tell them that is being guarded by Gairomon and his friends. Giromon and his friends.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Gurumon has got the entire
And mines
Netkeeper
and
army.
magic and all sorts of stuff.
Yeah, cool. So yeah, they confirm in with you, and they ask you to obviously keep them updated because they want to know if they need to flee. If the statues were to succumb to the evil Digimon and the Ice Sorcerer did get free, it might spell disaster for them.
I don't think.
Oh,
we
that's
would
why
get
we
to
care.
away from
Okay, that makes a lot more sense.
Yeah, so they turn off the Monitormon, and they don't turn him off. They turn his screen off, and
Just kill it.
And you've all packed up your belongings and what you've brought with you, or what you've managed to gather from Digimon's city, which has electricity, which nowhere else in the digital world seems to have at the moment that you've been to.
Do they have any Digi-oil?
Yeah, they have Digi-oil.
Lovely, I want that.
Cool, they give you a canister.
Da-da-da.
Now we can go back.
But yeah, Digimon joins you on the start of your expedition. He leads you through the tangled wires and debris that have fallen from the sky, which is like a bunch of computer monitors and high-tech equipment and wires and all bits and bobs. If you remember, they were hanging from the trees.
Yep.
Bits and bobs.
Sort of leads you through the maze of what that forest entails. And leads you towards the barrier of the Dark Zone. And I think while he's doing it, he's explaining the history of the Dark Zone in such a level of detail that it's boring the pants off of you. He's there I've been maintaining this barrier for 60 digi-years, and in that time...
What is it like? What is that 2 hours real time? I'm so confused.
It depends how high up the Dark Zone is, as we've established with that law.
I see. Okay, that makes no sense.
I'm keeping notes on that.
Please don't.
No, I am writing down everything he says.
And he says he's been keeping the barrier alive for basically as long as he's been cursed, to keep the denizens of the Dark Zone out of this city and out of the digital world. They cannot be allowed to escape or they'll wreak havoc on the entire world. Do you understand?
I mean,
Yes,
all of
very
them?
racist.
Or all of them, or just some of them, Digimon?
He ignores the question.
Digimon?
Wow.
Shield.
He says, the denizens of the Dark World are greedy, and they want nothing but power and bits for themselves, and they will take it by any means necessary. It's what has happened in the past, and what we cannot allow to happen again in the future.
Oh no, the Dark
Yes.
Zone is full of cute mons.
Why fix the problem when you can just throw it away and ignore it?
Now, as you know,
You're that
most
cute,
of-
Mom? Turns out you're a virus type. Apparently, according to a certain old hag who is just itching for a shield bash.
That is overwhelming. Virus types.
Now, most of my attention goes into keeping this barrier alive. If I
Be
were
a
to
shame if
fall,
Shield
it'd be a
Bash
great
distracted.
travesty for the digital world. I'm actually looking for someone to replace me in the inevitable time that I succumb to my illness. Thanks to your doctor friend here, and he clasps Kageyaki's shoulder as he says that, I will live for a lot longer than I anticipated. So I have a lot longer to find a successor to replace me.
Great.
Thank you again, good doctor.
How much do you need for the barrier? Could someone like Mistimon do the thing? Give it up.
He sighs heavily and he's like, I don't think someone like Mistimon would be able to keep the barrier up for very long, especially considering your digivolutions seem to be temporary for some reason. The way that I keep this barrier alive is I offer it my own life force. You see, I have the uncanny ability to transfer the life force of one Digimon to another, or to transfer a life force into magic and spells.
That's necromancy.
I was about to say the same thing.
Yeah, that's necromancy. Like, that's almost a
It's
textbook
necromancy.
definition of necromancy.
It's necromancy, except he can't bring Digimon back from the dead, basically. He can do everything a necromancer
Okay, so
can,
it's
except that.
It's necromancy, but worse.
Yes. But he's basically saying that he's using his own life force to fuel the barrier because he doesn't want to harm any other Digimon in the process.
I mean, clearly he has limited care about that as long as they're a virus type.
Hey,
Just saying.
he cares about
Better than
all
nothing.
Digimon
No,
equally.
that wasn't very fair of you, Zachary.
I mean, in his
Jesus.
defense, he was cursed by a virus-type Digimon and has fought against the forces of evil, who happen to mainly be virus-type Digimon. So, I mean, in his eyes, most virus-type Digimon that he has ever encountered have been evil, eventually.
Including the one that saved him.
There's a few virus types that he's actually taken into his city, but they all end up entering the Dark Zone in one way or another, or going towards the stone and being drawn to it for power, and then obviously that stone's now been drained of its energy, so who knows what's going to happen to that forest.
Don't worry about it.
Nothing bad, I hope.
Yeah, eventually you come upon it's not a clearing per se, but like the forest ends, and there's this big hazy black tinted barrier that you can see. But you can't really see through it. It's sort of a dark fog on the other side.
That's a good sign.
And he's like, right, we've made it. This is the entrance to the Dark Zone. Now I warn you, do not expect kindness on the other side of this barrier. It is a place
But if we receive
where only
kindness,
the vilest and most evil and decrepit Digimon are left to rot. You will not find allies on this side of the barrier. It is a dangerous place. Only few may survive, and only if they're strong enough. You must be sure that you are ready when you are entering.
I wonder why they're sort of violent. Like,
Well, as long as the place isn't completely on fire, I should be fine.
If anything, it's probably a wasteland. I don't
I
think
can-
they allowed them
I can
much.
stand wasteland.
He laughs. He's like, "Ah, that's the spirit, Zachary. No, I don't think you'll find much fire there. If you do, it'll be from one of the Digimon that's wreaking havoc somewhere, as they usually do."
Less sick.
But
Don't worry, I'm sure we'll bring the fire.
I'm
like
just
always.
imagining Zachary in his big Mac that got made for him by Stingmon. He's got like the massive fire extinguisher strapped to his back, ready just in case there's fire. And he's got his big shield in front of him, ready to defend off a bunch of dark Digimon. Like he looks like a.
And
like
also
he's
to
a proper
shield
battle armor.
bash. And also to shield bash Digimon. Don't remember. You just gotta remember that.
I imagine that as Zachary is, stressing out over fire, Ghostmon is probably trying to set his, raincoat on fire as we speak.
Yeah, it's not very
That's the
effective at all.
worst.
Like he's there, like clicking below it, like trying to light it on fire, and like it just doesn't do anything.
Hey, stop that, Ghostmon. Stop that. Shield.
The shield passes straight through Ghostmon.
Why do I
you
even
gonna-
bother with this thing anymore?
What you gonna do?
I mean, this is skateboard.
And then Ghostman probably just fades away, grumbling about his yet again ineffective. Ghostman is a really bad pranker now that I think about it. All his pranks seem
Yeah,
to
I
fail.
think,
in
I
some way.
think all of his pranks have brought misery to the people that he's used them on.
Jeez.
Or been thwarted in some fashion,
Yeah,
like with the tie into a wood chipper.
I mean that would
He's
have
such a
brought
little
great
shit.
misfortune to
Yeah,
Greymon,
that would.
but also it would have saved you a whole hassle of him turning into a steel Greymon and
True.
destroying half the city.
True.
um,
Maybe I should stop. Maybe I should stop stopping Ghostman from doing the pranks. Anyway, yeah, let's continue.
Sure. So he basically asks, like, "Are you ready?" And he like fashions a door out of magic and says, "When you want to come back through, you will have to contact me via your Digivices, and I will reopen the gate. But do not let anything out of there. It's in there for a reason. Understand?"
If I find a puppy, I'm taking it with me, and you can't stop me, old man.
Zach comes back with
That just elbows Zachary like. Let's not agitate him any further. He's our ticket out of there.
Okay. So yeah, the people in there probably aren't exactly happy with their situation, so prepare for agitated responses to us being there.
We'll just have to deal with that when we get there. Our priority is to save the statue so that the ice sorcerer doesn't return.
Yeah. I'm sure we can erect a barrier in there that will keep everything away.
So, can they go in the barrier?
Can he go in the barrier? Sorry.
Ice Devimon and all Felesmon and whatnot. All of the guys that we've beaten up so far.
Yeah, they've been able to enter the dark area via other means.
What is the
Hmm.
point of the bubble then?
They can enter but can't leave. So it like the dark area keeps things in but not out.
Nice.
It's sort of like it's one of those kinds of barriers. Digimon's taking you to like the safest point on the barrier where if you step through, you're not just going to get swarmed by a bunch of Digimon. And he's sort of made sure of that because he's put this sort of like an ancient magic stone that wards away virus Digimon. So
Racism rock.
he tells the virus Digimon in the party to sort of brace themselves for sickness on the other side, and to sort of distance themselves from the stone as fast as they can.
Do
Alright,
we
you're
have
a Doraemon
medicine?
for now. Stay a Doraemon, please.
Same goes for Ghostmon.
Cubemon, even though you're a vaccine type, I'm pretty sure, I stay away from it. It might interpret your certain way of living as you being a virus type.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with my way of living. What are you implying? He like pushes a finger into your chest. He's like, I made an honest living. I did nothing wrong.
You
People-
literally have
There's nothing wrong.
scammed entire cities out of their wealth. What are you talking about?
Hey, if people wanted to give us their bits, they did it willingly. It's not my fault that I have such a loving face.
Kuhagamon! Kuhagamon. Where did that come from?
Who knows?
Your
I
metal
will-
senses are tingling.
I honestly think Koagamon is like his biggest regret because Koagamon was actually a friend to him. But yeah. Yeah, so
In we go.
you guys step through the barrier. And on the other side, there is a very white hot glowing stone that's warding away the darkness. It makes all the virus type Digimon in the party, so Gazimon, Ghostmon, I think Doraemon's virus. Right?
Ghostmon is data.
Dormo's
Oh,
data.
it's Ghostmon.
Data.
I thought Ghostmon was virus. Never mind. Doraemon's a virus, though, right?
No,
Same
data.
Wizardmon is it.
Entire line is data.
Wait, so it's only Gazimon?
Yeah.
Okay.
Gazimon.
Same Wizardmon is virus, but not Ghostmon.
Okay, cool. So Gazimon feels very, very sick as he steps through the portal, but I guess because Pablo's not here, we'll kind of just gloss over that fact.
How convenient.
How very convenient. And you get through to the side. It's got this glowing white stone that's warding away Digimon. What you see on the other side is an absolute... I don't want to say it's a barren wasteland, but it looks devoid of life. It's dusty and sandy. There's harsh gale force winds that kick sand up into your eyes and face. There's junk and debris scattered around and sometimes being picked up by the wind and thrown around. There's junk piles with really outdated technology Kagyaki notes that probably hasn't been used in several decades. And basically like sheets of metal and trash and junk from outside the dark zone that have somehow made their way into the dark zone. And there's these the trees that were on the outside of the dark zone that had the wires and the debris that formed from the sky and stuff on them. They've just become these barren trees with no life on them at all. They're sort of rotting away and slowly die. So yeah, you've made your way into the dark zone. You don't see basically anything for quite a while ahead of you. It's quite a flat land. This doesn't help with the sand kicking up into your face. Is there anything you'd like to do to sort of help against the sand, or are you going to be one of those Digidestins that don't use their goggles, Taisto?
But no wonder they are pissed. Jesus Christ. How do they live in here?
I'll bring Pilomon inside my hoodie or underneath my hat. So Pilomon is safe, but I don't have anything to protect my eyes as far as I can, as far as I know. So
Do I have any material that I can make some like makeshift goggles or something? At least like a scarf for the dust.
You have material that you could use as a scarf. You don't have anything you could make goggles out of.
Daisto like looks at his goggles and is like, and he's about to put them on, but then he notices that Sonia actually doesn't have anything to protect her face with. So he hands them over to Sonia to, wear. They're just a tool. Go ahead.
Yeah.
thank you.
So
How many scarves can I make?
you can make one for each person if you'd like.
Lovely. One for each stage.
But Taisto, I wanted to ask. Obviously, those goggles mean a lot to you. They're the goggles that Inari gave you.
Yeah.
Why do you trust Sonia to keep them protected and safe? Is Sonia somebody you deem as like one of the most trustworthy people you know, or?
Tyson feels like he has a responsibility to make sure that Sonia is kept safe, and at this moment it also extends to environmental hazards, so that she doesn't, go blind or something. That's why he's willing to let Sonia use the goggles. Besides, he doesn't really want to put them on himself. They're somehow he thinks they're safer with Sonia than they're with him. But it's just for the purposes of like protecting Sonia in the end.
Sure.
Or ultimately, it's about that.
And why Sonia and not like Zach, Pablo, or Kakiaki? I mean, Kakiaki has a visor, I guess.
Because on Sonia's character sheet it says that, where is it? Taisto looks after you whilst you look after others.
I see. Okay, cool. So you look after her. Cool.
Yes, that is true. That is a true statement.
Cool. So yeah, Sonia, you get these goggles slapped around your eyes. They're a little bit big for you, but Taisto sort of tightens the strap on the back, so they're nice and tight and don't let any of the sand in.
You sure you're not gonna need them?
You need them more than I do at this time.
Well, if you say so, I won't complain. Thank you again. Come on, Pilomon. Hide under my hat.
Because a Pillarmon like hides under your hat and is now inside your hat, basically. You can hear her like muffledly talking to you through the hat, but you can't make out what she's saying at all.
Yes.
When you put Pillarmon on your head, you feel like a sort of tingly glow. You could use Divine Inspiration now if you'd like to, but it's up to you because you would obviously lower your balance track by 2 by doing that.
Oh, nice. Well, since you asked me so nicely, maybe I will. But then I'll lose something. Which one would I? I'll lose the light for now. Yeah. I'll use this marvelous inspiration to see what's ahead.
Cool.
What could it be?
Yes.
So, you put Pillarmon in your hat, and there is a soft pink glow that sort of ellipses you, and you start floating off your feet. And everyone, you can actually all see this as well, that she's floating and glowing pink, and her eyes have like ellipsed over in like a bright pink color.
Toby. We are the
Are you okay?
right now. I scan the area.
This feels deeply
around us
non-standard.
constantly.
Sonia, you get a vision. So you see, it looks like a man with a red mask over his eyes, sipping wine, eating a steak dinner in what looks to be a very, very posh mansion. You see Ice Devimon standing beside him with his arm crossed across his chest, holding a wine bottle and refilling the glass when needed. He's wearing a dicky bow tie and has like a little collar that they've found. You then get a second vision of it's a Tsukaimon, and it's sort of crawling across the wilderness, being buffeted by sand. It looks incredibly hungry and weak, and it comes across another Digimon, and starts its eyes basically glow red, and it attacks on sight. You can feel from the Tsukaimon that it's doing it out of desperation, not because it wants to, but it literally has nothing, and it will do anything to sort of live and try and survive.
And
you get
the surroundings.
You get the feeling this Tsukaimon isn't the only Digimon that's like this.
Mm.
So what you're basically getting a vision of is a differential of power within the Dark Zone. And
I see.
you may ask me any question, and I will answer you honestly. And whenever you act on my answer during this session, you'll get +2. So make your question count.
Oh, fuck.
Digimon capitalism.
So much stuff I could ask. I could ask who this about the first man, or I could ask how best I think Sonia would ask this. How best could I help those Digimon starving, and do we have the means to do so?
The best way that you can help the Digimon who are starving and dying and are desperate is to stop the man in the mansion from hoarding it all for himself.
Oh.
Wow, we really are just going full anti-capitalist, huh?
I am never against punching the shit out of a Vandemon.
More like probably, anti-warlord. But,
He's hoarding resources that other people need to survive.
as local warlords usually do in this kind of places. It doesn't have to be an allegory for capitalism, Zachary.
Yes, it can be both.
The other thing I want to underline is this Ice Devimon is the Ice Devimon that you all know.
Figured as much.
And you get that feeling from your vision. And then your vision stops, your eyes come back to reality, and you stop floating above the ground by about an inch and land back on your feet.
Okay.
Sonia, are you okay?
Well, yes, I had one of those visions again. It happens sometimes. Well, I saw what life is like over there, and the Digimon are starving. They're attacking each other for scraps of food, and there's a mansion with a huge Digimon like with a mask, and there was Ice Devimon serving him, I think, and they kept all of the food for themselves. So I think we'll have to ask them a few questions because the Digimon here are really, really suffering. I think.
Where did you say the mansion was?
Somewhere in the dark area.
Descriptive.
Well, I don't decide what I see. I don't decide when I see.
And
I don't. But
you said there was an Ice Devimon.
Yes, I get the feeling it's the one we know. But yeah.
I think when you say that, Cutemon pipes up, and he's like, "Wait, Ice Devimon's here? Zach,
Would seem.
we have to do something. He's probably conning the shit out of that man.
Yeah, we want to con the shit out of him.
Yeah, I want to get some bits out of that guy before Dice Devimon does. I need to take him down a peg after what he did to me." He puts a fist in a palm.
Completely ignoring Cutemon, Taisto is just like, well, it's settled then. We need to stop this man from exploiting the denizens of the dark area and bring him to justice. And while we're at it, we need to ask Ice Devimon a few questions. So let's go do that. Where?
So yeah,
That just looks like around where should we be going? Like, is there one path, or is just literally 180 degrees any direction you want?
it's you should probably head towards the center of the dark area. It's basically a large spherical bubble that covers the whole dark area, so you can sort of make out where the edges are and head towards where the middle-ish part of it is, or towards the middle. From Sonia's vision, you know that the mansion is somewhere on the sort of middle ring of the dark area.
Oh, that's convenient.
It's not in the center. It's just on the middle ring. Yeah, you guys continue off into the dark zone. The sand buffeting against you, scratching any bare skin that is being shown. The scars that Kageyaki's put together are rudimentary but hold up and prevent the sand going in your mouths and noses, so you can breathe.
Shorts were a really bad choice of wear for this occasion.
Yes, they were.
You have lots of scratches on your legs, Heister.
Keep your eyes peeled for anything see-through, like any plastic or glass. We're probably going to need goggles for you too as well.
There's a lot of plastic and glass around Kagiaki. This is essentially it's like a recycler's nightmare. Like, literally there's sheets of metal, plastic, there's bottles and broken cans
Then I do have
and
material.
stuff that are just floating around the dark area through the wind.
Then I do have material for goggles.
Yes, but you won't be able to make them quickly, is the issue. You'd be like sat there for like a few days trying to put them all together, which is time you probably don't want to be sat in the desert for.
I mean, a few days to cut a vaguely circular, like 4 vaguely circular shapes and tie them to cloth.
Yeah, I think it would take a while. Like, you're not going to be able to make a good pair of goggles like that will actually keep the sand out of your eyes by just cutting up a bottle and attaching it to some strands of fabric that you found at Digimon's hut. Like, it would take you a lot longer to make something that's more airtight and not going to let sand in, essentially. Like, if you did put some goggles together by cutting off the bottom of bottles and putting it over people's eyes, it probably wouldn't fit very well. It would let some sand in. It would maybe block a fair bit of the sand, but it wouldn't be perfect, and it would still be hard to see and hard to like keep your eyes open with it. Especially because the materials here are they're very broken and full of holes and like scratched claws marks and stuff all over it. It's not the best quality material.
I mean, it's better than nothing.
I mean, if you want to put something together, you can do. It's not going to be amazing, essentially. In fact, you probably get the plastic and you will be able to see through it very well because of how buffeted by the sand it is. But if you want to try, you can roll to see how well you can put something together. Maybe a unique roll.
Again, it's better than nothing. That is an 8.
Yeah, so you put together something very rudimentary, difficult to see through, but protects the eyes. You hand one out to each of the party, and it's basically the best you can do with the materials you could find. So as you traverse through the dark zone, you pick up some plastic bottles that have been like ripped in half by the sheets of metal. You see a big sort of translucent, like not see-through, but like the foggy glass kind of shade of like plastic sheets in one of the scrap piles, and you sort of fashion some very hard to see through goggles using that, and eventually everyone has a pair. And as you're traversing through, you notice some shapes stick out from behind the garbage piles, and anytime you sort of look in their direction, they duck back down and seem to scurry away.
Oh boy. Can I keep a scan active to see when they get close?
Sure. So they're keeping a relatively large distance, a big berth from you guys, but they are following you, and you've noticed them with your scanner, Kagiaki.
I'm sorry, what's following us?
Apes.
Two figures are following you, potentially more. It's just any time you look over, there's 2 of them.
Okay.
Do you stop to try and kind of call them out on it, or are you just going to let them follow you? What would Kagiaki do in this situation?
Guys, we're being followed. Do we want to like try and talk to them, or?
Well,
I mean, I think
if we have food, we can give them some, but I don't think they would listen to us right away. From what I saw, they seemed quite desperate, so they might attack us before asking.
Well, the thing is, we can't uneat the food too.
Yeah.
Aren't bits
Yeah,
food for
it's pain-
Digimon? And don't we produce a temporarily infinite source of bits?
Bits aren't food. Bits are like representative
bits.
of growth and money.
A few bits might help for a while, but like 10 minutes later they'll be gone.
Yeah. It's painful. It's painful to watch them, or think of them suffering. But we need the food as well, and we're on our way to try to solve the bigger problem here. We could give them a bit of food, but we can't spare much because we need it ourselves just in case.
That's what Sonia will do. She will put a little bit of her own portion of food behind. She's not really looking, not really calling to them or anything, but just putting a bit of food and continuing on her way. Just, there you go.
Don't fight over it. There we go.
I think Zach also puts a little bit of his share of food out, just so they both have some food to eat. I put like mine away, a little bit away from Sonia's, so like they can both separately go for the food.
Smart.
So you start walking away, and then you hear the scurries get really close to you because obviously they're running down towards the food you've left behind. And you hear like whispers behind you, and they're just like, "No, don't get too close! Don't get too close! No. Okay, we'll split it. We can each have one little bit, and you hear one of them just yell out, "Thank you!" And then another one just goes, "Shh! They'll hear you. The Digidestined. You don't need to virus Digimon, don't you? You're an idiot."
Give them
and he like slaps them on the head and like starts pulling apart some of the meat.
Move.
Zach fully turns around and starts like
No,
slowly walking towards them.
Zach, we're busy.
Let them be.
I'm not gonna hurt them. They just
So
think
big-
we're...
Let them be. They're. Can't you see that they're scared?
Look,
Frightened
Yeah,
out of
so
their
if we let them
minds.
know there's nothing to be afraid of, then...
That's not how it works. We've
Look.
done what we can for now. Just let them be.
They
They'll
just said
understand.
that the Digidestined just
Yes.
attack virus Digimon, and only
And
sometimes.
we just showed them that's not true. Let's go. We have a
Zach.
bigger picture here to deal with.
That priorities. First we fix the big problem, then we worry about the small problem.
I will just bow to them and say, "You're welcome," and that's it.
Cool. As you turn around, you see that it's a pawn chessman, white and black, and two Fascomon.
Those are both data types.
There are also virus types in some media.
Well, I'll kill you.
I guess we're not going with the reference book then. Lovely.
I'm going by what's in the dark zone in my head, and pawn chessman
Actually,
fits
Pawn
that.
Chessmon Black's a... Pawn Chessmon Black is a virus type.
Yeah.
Right. Moving on.
They're both virus
So
types.
is white. Yes, they're both virus types. I don't know what you're on about.
I don't know what I'm on about.
Well, now we know.
And as
What did you say? What did you say? You said there were three Digimon, two
there's,
pawn
there's
chessmen.
two
Fascomon.
pawn chessmons and two Fascomon.
Okay.
Babies! No!
I think
Anyway, we're
it's-
moving on.
Yeah, you guys continue on, and eventually, as you come across the junk piles on the other side of one of the big piles, you reach the top of the hill and you see this extremely luxurious looking mansion.
Oh god, that's not going to go well.
It's
convenient.
basically a large stone fortress. It's got this.
They have a swarm.
They have this massive drawbridge gate-looking thing at the front. there's little pyres on top with little flags that are black with like skulls on them flipping in the wind. There are 2 dark lizardmen standing outside the front of the castle, and you see that there's also several rookie level virus type Digimon, such as Devimon, Tsugaimon, and various other Digimon like that, all sort of struggling to survive. They've set up like mini sort of rudimentary campfires and camps to keep themselves warm, but they all look very hungry and starving.
They basically set up like a slums outside of what I presume would be Myotismon's castle, right?
Yeah.
Sonia, reminds you of anything?
Capitalism.
Does it? Does it remind me of the one castle that I saw in my vision?
Yeah, it's the castle you saw in your vision.
Yep. Definitely.
I
Definitely.
think I'm gonna talk to some of the struggling Digimon and try to gather some information before we just burst in.
We are going to get jumped.
Sure.
We're not gonna get
No, we're not.
jumped.
You walk towards.
They're too weak to pose a threat to us.
You walk towards the slums, and as the Digimon see you approach, they run away in terror.
Hold on, can I
Okay.
clarify something about how I approached?
Sure.
Zack approaches very low to the ground, slowly with his hands up.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that Kakayaki is behind him on top of San Lukmon is not helping.
Well, it's not my fault that you have a giant dog.
Okay, I'm gonna roll a dice and see if they still find that threatening or not. Because they're very scared of Digidestin.
Did we send
They're
the Digimon
somewhat
in first?
hesitant. Okay. So
Nice.
I think they see you approaching. They're sort of backing away slowly, and they're like murmuring amongst themselves about Digidestined and don't go near them. They'll purge you and all this kind of stuff.
As soon as they
you've
start
heard the
backing
legends
away,
and all that whatnot.
as soon as they start backing away, Zack stops. He's like,
They're not
"Hey,
here to hurt you.
yeah, we're not here to hurt you. If anything, we're here to hurt him. But that's only a possibly.
Yeah.
We don't need to tell them that.
Breaks.
What's the deal with this giant castle? Like, what's going on in there?"
That's where my Otismon lives, and then another one slaps him on the back of the slaps the Gazimon on the back of the head.
Hey, don't hit each other. That's not nice.
And Tsukaimon says from behind him, like, "Shut up, they're Digidestined. If you tell them stuff, they'll definitely kill you. It's what they do. Remember?"
Why would we kill you for cooperating with us?
That seems backwards. It feels like if we were to kill you, which we have no want to do, and in fact we do everything in our power to avoid you guys being killed. But if we were to kill you, it'd be for not cooperating with us. But you guys are being.
What the fuck was that?
Zachary, how about we stop with the death threats?
I'm explicitly not death threatening. I'm being as clear as possible that we don't want to hurt them. In fact, we want to protect them.
You just said. You basically said if you don't help us, you will kill you.
So these Digimon have been brought up their entire lives with the stories that the Digidestined will one day come to the dark area and purge it, essentially. And that day, to them, has just come because humans have walked into the Dark Zone.
Okay.
Obviously,
Guys.
it's not the correct version of the legend, but it's the legend
Hold
they've
on.
been told.
I have a terrible idea. As I do, hold on. I'm trying to figure out what move would be best for that.
Show them the
What?
cool lights. That will help.
Can I try to trick them into thinking that we're not the Digidestined, that we're just rando humans?
No, I don't. I
It
think
would be
very
that
difficult to
ship
do that.
sailed. Anyway,
Okay, look, guys,
let
look.
me try. Let me try, please.
I mean, I do have a virus partner, so what's her?
Everyone does. Almost everyone does. Most of us do eventually. Anyway,
Sure.
let's see. So there's a slum of like starving Digimon in front of us, right?
Yeah. There's various
Yes.
different rookie level Digimon and a couple of babies and entries.
All right. Just need to do a quick setup change. Where is the? Can someone tell me how the heck this Fred 2 works?
You have to tell it to stop and then play a new song to stop the loop.
Yeah.
So it's M exclamation point stop, M exclamation point play.
Stop.
another link.
There you go.
So, we are the Digidestined, the chosen children. We're here to help you guys. We are not the evils that you have always seen or been told about in your legends. We are protectors of all Digimon from virus attributes, data attributes, vaccine attributes, unknown attributes. We've carved our way through all these justice, all the way from Icon City over here, and we have ended up here in front of this big castle because we know that inside lies a tyrant who wishes to take all your food from you. And we need your help. We need information on how we can stop this evil Digimon and, get you your food that you deserve. We know that it's not easy to be here in this kind of squalid starvation. But we're not your enemies. We're not here to harm you or hurt you. We just want to save the digital world from, for all of its denizens, including you. So you should help us out.
I feel like
Thank you.
inspirational speech was the wrong angle. for
No.
these guys.
Inspirational speech is standing up for something, which means.
Yes, so roll to stand up for something, Taisto.
Thank you.
It's bit propaganda.
Where-
We're more propaganda.
What is my? Right, it's maxed.
Don't forget to vote for Taisto.
11.
Cool, so on a 10 plus choose 2 of the options on stand up for something.
Yeah, they can't flee without addressing us, and they can't keep cowering away in fear from us.
Cool. So they sort of like murmur amongst themselves, and you hear a couple of the babies like yell out, like not yell out, but they're like, "Ooh, like shiny new people that are heroic and stuff." And the parents are all the big brothers or whatever, those little babies are just like, "No, they'll get you, And then like eventually they sort of all like grow the confidence to sort of approach you a little bit, little by little. And one of the Digimon, I'm gonna say it's the Tsukaimon, speaks up, and he's like, he wasn't always evil. In fact, he isn't evil. He's just misguided. So, and I don't think he realizes what he's doing.
Oh god, say it's Devimon again, isn't it?
Huh?
Well, then we'll
When
just
did-
have a
when did-
conversation with him.
Yeah, we're not unreasonable. But what? So when did he start becoming this, misguided, guided tyrant?
Well, you see, there was an uprising in the dark area where we just wanted to get out of this horrible place. We've been trapped for our whole lives. We just want to live like normal Digimon, And then the Vortex Warriors came and decimated our homes more and killed our leader and well, his generals, they just gave up and decided to use the power that he granted them just to live a happy life. And well, we didn't get our shares back, unfortunately.
Oh god.
Vandemon himself, he's not horrible. He needs that power to protect us from something. He says that there's a dark curse and he's holding it back, but it means that we don't get food and bits and we just live out here and do the best that we can to survive.
Sounds
Genuine question for all of you. What do you think that evil curse is?
We don't know. We hear rumors of a monster that eats people and purges virus type Digimon from the world, so they never reborn again. It sounds terrifying.
So, we were the evil curse, but you guys aren't afraid of us anymore. So it feels like maybe we should just have a conversation with them, Dimon, because
You weren't the evil curse. They're talking about something different.
oh
yeah.
stop
They're
having so
talking
many
about
legends
Chronomon destroy mode. Anyway, how might we get in the castle? We need to have a chat with Vandemon.
Well, you'd have to either somehow arrange a meeting with him, or I guess you could break him. He has several guards and loyal servants who he pays with bits. If you see anyone who's loyal to him and actually contributes towards his well-being gets paid, but obviously not everyone can work for Vandemon. It's most people's dream.
How might we arrange a meeting with him? Does he have an envoy here in the village or something?
I don't think he would just.
We might try. It's terribly rude to just burst in. Then again,
I mean, we could ask Dark Lizamon.
Ice Devimon was working with him, and we know what he thinks of us. So I don't think telling our enemy that we're right here, right in front of his door, is the smartest move. I get not wanting to be rude, I do, but do I get the sense that Vandemon, from the little I saw in that vision, that he seems like a reasonable Digimon, or
he seems reasonable but greedy.
So maybe then.
Well, I mean, it feels like just a holy blast through his window to come talk to him. I mean,
you can assess the situation if you'd like to. If you want to
I
scan
would
the
like
castle
to.
for weak points or anything like that.
Can I give Sonia a team to help with that?
Yeah, sure. You always start with one team in the session, so you can spend that to do that if you'd like.
Assess the situation, which is
That is a roll superior.
Superior, okay. That's very nice too. Someone else wants to assess the situation.
But if you want to help me, then I think I probably have a better superior. I might not.
My superior sucks as well because level ups.
You have
you
-2 superior, Zachary.
All right.
Yeah,
So it looks like it's either Kageyaki
Miss
or Kageyaki. Hey,
Lovely.
Kageyaki, do you want to assist the situation?
I can try.
This is
Alright,
Kageyaki's like, nah, I don't think I will this time.
Yeah.
Screw planning, you never follow my plans anyway.
And yeah, let's. I'm gonna give him a team from the pool to assist him.
What are we assessing again?
The situation.
That is in the level, by the way.
What
Let's-
about the situation are we assessing?
The entirety of it.
Yeah, it's just the all of it. We're assessing the situation.
Uh-huh,
That's all the
okay,
move
I
says.
The situation being basically how you're going to get to Myotismon or Vandemon or whatever you want to call it.
So that was we rolled a 12 because I gave you a team for that. So
Cool.
He
So
did give me the team after all, I guess.
critical success because you rolled 12
Critical
or higher. Firstly, ask 2 of the questions, and then you may ask a follow-up question to each of them if you'd like. You have to pick from the list to the follow-up questions, just follow-ups to the answers that I give, basically, if you want more clarity on
Okay.
anything.
Is what here can we use to actually get to talk to Van Demon choice? Like, do people count as use item? Jesus Christ.
So Vandimon keeps a staff of loyal Digimon. You saw the Dark Lizamon outside the castle. They're basically guards. They keep his house safe. The other Digimon have also told you that there are other workers. So he has a personal butler. He has chefs and gardeners and various
Wow.
other Digimon. He actually has a big
Thank
garden at the back of his mansion with like actual shrubbery and bushes and trees, which is something that the denizens of the dark area basically never get to see.
I bet.
That's probably your best way into the mansion, actually, is through that garden and through his staff, if you can get on their good side somehow.
Greatest agent doesn't really work. Biggest threat is probably Ice Devimon, so I don't think it's worth asking. Most vulnerable, that pointless, we don't want to threaten.
Remember as well, even if it seems like a pointless question, you do get +1 acting on the answer.
I guess. And then I get an addition. How many additional questions do I get from the critical?
You get a follow-up
You get a-
question to the answer that I've given.
Follow-up question to the answer that you've given. Should we just ask the greatest danger? Guys, do you think? What do you think?
Yeah, I think asking about the greatest danger would probably be a good move.
Greatest danger it is.
So when you say greatest danger, do you mean what here is the biggest threat, or do you mean what here is in the greatest danger?
The biggest threat.
The biggest threat, okay. So the biggest threat is Myotismon, because he's the most powerful. If you get on his bad side, he might not be so kind to you because obviously you're Digidestined. There's actually a bigger threat that I just thought of, actually.
Fuck.
The bigger
What
threat
have we done?
is something unknown to you, but there is an incredibly dense, dark energy power source coming from the castle or the mansion or whatever when you scan it with your visor.
Oh god.
And
Yes.
you'd assume that that's the curse or the ghoul or the monster that the Digimon were telling you about, that Myotismon's keeping at bay.
That's worrying.
Okay,
I
I have the
somehow have a
answers.
rough
I have the
idea of what
answers
it
written
could be.
down in the player chat. So, yes, I'm counting your Myotismon comment as part of the answer to the question. So acting against Myotismon gives us a +1 now, or at least it gives Kageyaki a +1 now.
How could we best end this quickly? Actually, function as a question right now.
You already asked your 2.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Plus
2 questions.
plus one
Now
follow-up.
you ask questions about the 2 answers that we got.
I see. Okay.
Let's see.
So basically, if you'd like more detail on the answer that I've given, I will give it willingly.
Like, a good question would be, like, what would it take to convince the guards to let us in?
Yeah, that.
Is that the actual question, or are you just giving an example?
Well,
Yeah,
seems
let's-
like a good one.
Let's go with that. We want to get in peacefully after all.
So to bribe the guards is basically impossible. They're paid very well. They have a lot of bits from Myotismon. You need an
That's
actual
where
meeting.
broke.
You need an actual meeting with Myotismon for them to just let you through willingly. The staff, however, such as the maids and the chefs and the gardeners, they're probably more willing to help you. They're not paid super well, but they're kept there. How can I put this? It's not against their will, but they're kind of being forced to be there. the gardeners at the very least are. Sorry. So you can probably convince the gardeners to sneak you in because of how poorly they're being treated. They'll probably just let you in if they, especially because you're the Digidestined and they don't want to be purged or anything like that.
I really don't want to keep using that one. Okay.
Well,
Well-
that's a good lead at least.
Yeah, the main issue is like what kind of bullshit has Ice Demon been feeding him? Besides all the
I guess-
bullshit.
I guess we'll have to see when we get there.
Yeah. Okay, in through the garden we go, and best of hope.
Yeah. So we need to circle around back behind the castle to get into the garden. Is it how?
Yeah, so there's
Right, we have a teleporting dog. Why are we? Why?
We do have
Yeah,
a teleporting dog, but the issue is that he's big.
We also have like flying Digimon as well.
Yeah, we have multiple flying mounts and a teleporting dog. We're pretty much good on the front of actually getting into the garden.
Getting in and getting in a way that not everyone will know are different things.
Fair.
so
I mean, I guess we can send in Ghostmon because he can fly and he's invisible, so he can give us the all clear when there's no one in the garden. He can then go in and take it from there.
cool. So Ghostwan floats through the bushes invisibly, I assume, and you share vision with him.
Right,
through
actually, sorry. As a question, is there like a moat around this? Like, how is the garden separated from the rest of the dark area?
So there's like a big ditch where a moat would be, but there's no water in the dark zone, or not any that Myotismon has been able to procure. So it's basically just a would-be moat around that isn't filled with water, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and I assume a wall or something like that.
Yeah, it's like a stone wall with a hedge and bushes.
Right.
looking
Okay.
thing.
Okay. Just to paint myself a clear picture, but yeah, Ghostmon, go in.
Can I and Sunloopmon be in Ghostmon's shadow even when it's invisible?
If he's
I
invisible,
don't
he
think
doesn't
it
have a
casts
shadow.
a shadow.
Yeah, that's really stupid, That's the thing. What the fuck happens then?
I mean, I assume if his shadow disappears, Sunloopmon just gets pushed out of it. But yeah, I think Ghostmon's the best bet because he's actually invisible at this point. And you can share vision with him, obviously, through your Digivice's powers, like we established. When he gets to the other side of the bush, what you see is the most fancy-looking garden you have ever seen. It has like a freshly mown grass lawn. It has several rose bushes growing around the garden. There is a sort of statue of a Digimon who's like in the center of a fountain, and it's like spewing water out of his hand and mouth. There's a massive.
I thought he didn't have water.
Oh yeah, good point. It's spewing like
Red wine.
Red wine. Yeah, that makes sense.
That is an intense fountain.
And there's a rather large oak tree, or what looks like an oak tree, in the middle of the garden as well. It's a huge garden, but nobody's there at the moment, and you can see that there's basically a small stone pathway that they've made that leads up towards the back entrance of the mansion as well. It's almost like it's too clear to be real, if that makes sense.
Too clear to be real.
Sorry, what is too clear to be real?
Like it feels like there should be someone here, but there isn't. Like it's just
Can
empty.
Oh, right.
Can
okay.
I pick the Slum Digimon as my entourage?
Yes, you can pick them as your entourage if you'd like.
Yay.
Let's go through your questions, Zachary. So, why do your entourage love you?
None of those really
It's too-
apply. But I'm gonna say that they think I'm charming because that's the closest.
Okay.
I think
Basically,
I'm
like,
dangerous, a bad guy.
Like they, after realizing that maybe the Digidestined aren't evil and going to kill us all, I made kind of first contact with them, like showed them like, hey, we're not objectively evil.
Cool. So, what advantages do they give you, and what demands do they make of you?
Choose 2 advantages. They are strong and good at manual labor. And
Okay,
Isn't it like the opposite of what they were?
it is.
they're fine. It's fine.
They're malnourished child Digimon.
They're gonna eat the rich anyways. It's fine.
Viva la revolution.
I think I'll sort of change the strong and good at manual labor to they're cunning and good at hunting, and foraging, because obviously they live in the dark zone.
They are good at a task that could be useful to us.
Wouldn't that be just they are intelligent and good at problem solving?
But they're not smart. They're good at a task that isn't problem solving.
They're good at
It's a
surviving, basically.
It's a good physical. They're good at a physical task.
And what's the second advantage?
And they will not betray you no matter the circumstances.
I mean, that's kind of obvious
Big
just
one.
because they're too weak to betray you.
Yeah.
And what's the disadvantages?
But man.
They require protection or rescue from a present threat.
Yep.
And probably that they need you to lead them to get anything done.
Cool. Cool, so we set up your entourage. Your entourage is made up of a variety of rookie-level virus Digimon.
Oh, I'm taking all of these back to Digimon's house.
These include
Good luck with
Sukaimon,
that.
a black Gabumon,
Oh,
a
nice.
whole bunch of what were the names again? I've forgotten the name of them. Fascomon, a
Babies!
few Devimon, the Pawn Chessmon brothers, who eventually made their way back home, and a variety of like baby Digimon, like little Cocobons and Tsunomons and stuff that have been born in the Dark Zone.
Terrible question. Could the Devimons, or the Pico Devimons, carry Gazimon into the castle?
Carry Gazimon into the castle, why?
Gazimon is a virus type. There is a level of, if he plays his cards right, he could convince people that he works there as a member of the
It's
staff.
Gazimon.
Also,
Let's scale back the expectations down a bit.
What part
It's
of
Gazimon.
in the corner.
when did I ever say that this was a good idea?
He is literally tiptoeing menacingly.
but Gazimon does blend in pretty well, since they're kind of everywhere. So,
Because of the virus Digimon we have Song Loopmon and Gazimon, and Gazimon's probably the only one small enough to be
And Flame
lifted.
Wizardmon. And
Flame Wizard?
Mistymon, actually.
Okay, of the Digimon that are probably reasonable to be employed by Otismon. So
Are you
Mistymon sort of.
Are you saying that my partner isn't good enough to be employed by Vandemon?
I'm saying that
Ooh.
Mistymon is equivalent in strength to him, and given the sort of vibes that he gives off, he wouldn't want somebody on par with him in his staff.
On par. Mistymon would trump Vandemon in the fight any time.
Okay, that
I'm gonna
literally
lose to
proves my point,
Vidramon.
though. That literally proves my point, though. And also Gazimon would probably, again, be the easiest to carry. Because even then, Flay Wizardmon's, you know.
I think we should just.
full-
I think we should just go in.
I wanted to do my thing, but okay. I have this entourage, and I have nothing to do with them.
I'm sure we'll find a way to use the entourage.
Yeah, they're gonna eat the rich.
How
Viva la
about we?
revolution.
It's not capitalism if it's literally
It's
taken by
capitalism.
force.
That's
It is not a-
literally capitalism.
It is literally not capitalism.
It's involuntary capitalism.
You can't just.
I both
So
can
how
and
does-
will make up new terms.
Anyway, can we get on with this?
Yeah.
So it seems like the garden is too clear. Like there should be someone there, but there isn't anyone. We're so going to walk into a trap with like other statues in the garden.
Yeah, there was one that's in the middle of the fountain that's spewing wine.
Oh, right, of course, yeah. Well, it's totally obvious that it's all clear, so we should just rush in head first. All right, let's
One
go.
more thing before we do that. Can I roll to get holds for holy power?
Sure, charge your holy power up.
Plus conditions.
holy
That's that thing where I can do shield, burst, boost, or powerful aura. I'm gonna do powerful aura. Just in case there are traps. Yeah, roll plus conditions, that's +4. Nice.
If you'd like to charge yours as well, Sonia, you can.
Alright, I do have that. Yeah, sure.
I rolled a 12. So I
Roll plus conditions. I do not have any conditions right now. It would be risky to do it now, no?
Yeah, you might want
Yeah,
to
I
wait till
don't-
you have more conditions, but
yeah, I'm at a constant state of having 4 conditions.
Akari
But,
has 4 conditions.
I always have 4 conditions.
Jeez, anxiety.
Yeah, I
Level
don't want
edge.
to do this now.
Okay, so I am able to hold 3 for the scene, and I got a 12. So is there any bonuses from a crit or no?
no, not for this move, unfortunately.
So I'm going to set up powerful aura. So when we climb over the wall, if there is a trap and it's considered a weak or mundane threat, then it will hold it back.
Okay. So you climb over the wall, fly over the wall, teleport through the wall, whatever, and you come on the other side of the garden, which at first seems empty. And then the shrubbery and the bushes and everything, they start to sort of warp in an unnatural way.
0 out of 10. No, Caramon's here.
And the bushes transform into Woodmon.
That's not mundane. That is fully not mundane. Okay.
They are currently wielding garden shears for unknown reasons.
They have
because they are
knives?
the trees. They've
They
basically
prune
been
themselves?
they've obviously been employed to be the garden rather than be the gardeners. And to
That
keep
actually makes
themselves
sense
beautiful.
because that actually makes
Hey.
sense because he doesn't have water to grow actual plants with.
Um,
Well,
sorry.
hello there.
and one of the Woodmon yells out, "Stop! You're not supposed to be here. This is the
You're
residence
supposed
of
to be
Vandermon.
hesitating. Hesitate.
If you have a meet, I'm sorry.
You're supposed to be hesitating. Hesitate.
If you have a meeting with Vandermon, I urge you to go through the front door. The
This
garden
is the
is
front
ever
door.
so hard
Wait.
to keep well when you are the garden yourself.
Isn't
This
that
is the front door. In the
easy?
human world, the harder the door is to get to, the more that's meant to be the front door.
I think that's going
Zachary,
to work.
Zachary,
Fair.
we've been over this. Look, Woodmon. Sorry. Look, Digimon. You Digimon, whose name I do not know because I haven't actually scanned you. So, Anyway, we're here to meet with Vanderman, but we don't exactly have an appointment. We were hoping to be able to, give him a surprise.
We're here to help.
Why would you say it like that?
They just sort of hesitate a second, and they're like, "You're humans. You must be the Digidestined."
Potentially.
That is a fact. Yes, we are the chosen ones. But we're here to help you guys. We're here to help you guys.
The Woodmon.
Like we want to help. We want to help the Digimon of the Dark Area, and the rest of the digital world as well. That's kind of
We've
what we
got
do.
to stop giving up our leverage.
The Woodmon nods at one of the planted pots near the back door of the manor, and you notice that above the manor there are floating Eismon everywhere, and a bunch of ivy just shoots up and wraps around them. And Woodmon says, "We can talk freely now."
Oh, okay.
Uh-huh.
More cooperative
okay.
than I thought.
We can't speak long, or Vandemon will notice his eyes have gone out. We're not here by choice.
This is very.
We're not paid. We're forced to be his guardian. I'm so glad the Digidestined are here to save us. We've been trapped in the Dark Zone for ages now because, well, someone didn't like our Lord very much and trapped him here, and, well, Myotismon has sealed him in the garden ever since. And they sort of gesture towards the large oak tree.
Oh.
Oh no.
Ah. Oh.
Okay. So I need a favor from you guys, just very quickly. Could you open the gate to the garden? We have some friends that would also like to speak with Myotismon.
Who are the friends that you're thinking of?
My entourage.
If you want to bring them along, I'm sure that they can usher you in. But you'll have to be very quick, they say. We can't keep the eyes covered for long, otherwise Myotismon might notice.
Okay,
Entirely fair.
really
Not
quick,
this one.
do you know of any traps, or if there are eyes inside the mansion too, or if they're guards, or real quick?
Yes. Myotismon employs Dark Lizamon as his guards, and he also keeps Dark Dramon, not Dark Dramon, the one I always called Dark Dramon by accident, Devidramon,
Devidramon.
Thank fuck.
as his. It's not Dark Dramon, don't worry. He keeps a few Devidramon as personal bodyguards in the mansion. There are various house servants as well. He has chefs and beauticians and maids and butlers and all sorts. Not all of them are here by choice, but most of them are. Now, quickly,
Thank you for your
inside
help.
before he sees you.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
And then we
Go,
get
go,
in.
go, 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 go.
Okay, I and Sunloopman just melt into shadows immediately. The moment we get inside.
Cool. So yeah, they usher you inside, and then you, like, as you step through the door, the vines come off of the Eismon's eyes, and the Alraumon turn back into plants.
I'm
Were they
so
Amramon
glad
or
they were
Woodmon?
nice.
Sorry.
Raumon.
Are they Alraumon
we need
or
to
Woodmon?
Pardon, sorry?
Alraumon. Anyway, we need to be quick before Myotismon becomes Might Noticemon, and
Oh my.
Oh,
Oh.
the dub
No
puns,
point to that.
the dub puns, I love it. If you weren't so high on potential and didn't want some, I'd give you some for that pun.
no, do not.
Give us a team.
Don't you dare!
Yeah, I'll
Don't
give
dare.
you guys a team instead. You can have a team for that awful pun that would be worthy of a dubbed Digimon series.
Doesn't feel good. No, it doesn't.
Okay, we'll take a team. But yeah, we need to. I guess we'll just explore the castle then. Try to get to somewhere where Myotismon might reside.
Alright, I use the fact that I'm shadow to make sure we're in clear hallways.
Yeah,
Oh,
so...
that's actually
Sorry, continue.
that's actually really smart because you can just hang out in shadows and let us know if there's any threats ahead.
And Ghostmon is invisible.
Ghostmon is invisible. We have 2 scouts. 3 scouts, I guess.
which
Love
is
being
very
versatile so
effective.
much.
What?
I love being versatile.
So you when you first enter the back door, you're actually near the kitchen, which makes sense because obviously you pick fruits and vegetables from the garden and cook them and whatnot. You see a bunch of red Digimon that are like wearing hair nets that they don't need, and they're using various cooking utensils to make food. They're cooking giant sirloin meat and assortments of vegetables from the gardens, and using flowers and herbs and whatnot. And the smell coming from that kitchen is something you haven't smelt since you were in the real world. It is absolutely gorgeous smell. In fact, I need you guys to roll to see if you can resist the smell of that food.
Are we just... Is it a flat roll, or...
Yes, you're going to try and resist their influence.
Roll for smell. So flat roll.
I really can't see me doing that, but sure.
10. So I resist the smell.
Seems like Kageaki really wants that food.
The one that makes least sense to just do it, does it apparently. Sure.
Thank you, leaders. We'll
Yeah.
never forget your sacrifice.
Yeah, so it seems as though both Kageaki and Taisto really want this food. You guys haven't had a good meal like since you come to the digital world. You've basically been foraging berries and whatever scraps the towns can give you on your journey. Obviously back in Icon City you had fish from the sea, but you haven't had that in a while now. You've been travelling towards the Dark Zone for a few weeks, and there's this gourmet meal in front of you that is human worthy, and you just can't resist, and you're getting drawn towards the smell. How would you guys go about stealing some food for yourselves, or at least asking for some food for
I hate the
yourselves if
fact
you
that
wouldn't like
this
to steal?
happening.
Can we stop them? Or is it too late now?
I mean, you can try and snap them out of it, but it would require a roll.
I would like to say to them, hey, come on, we're not here for stealing food. Well, yes, we are, but not for ourselves. Well, we'll ask later, okay? We have something a bit more important to do. What's going on? Hello?
Is there anyone in the kitchen?
Yeah, I said there's red Vegemon preparing the food.
Right.
What role would that be? Unleashing my powers?
Protect, defend.
Yeah,
Defend.
you're defending someone from the smell, essentially.
I am defending from the smell.
How do I even smell? I'm a shadow.
Okay.
It's anime logic, Kageaki.
Anime logic.
It's both out of character and illogical. Come on.
Small, and I don't
Too bad.
think
It's too good. It's too good to be pass up even for a person who literally grew up on foraging from forests.
Yeah,
Doesn't mind it.
fucking somehow.
But yeah, but it's I think Daisa's just been so exerted himself so much that he's just so hungry.
Do I
Help
need
it.
to roll for both of them individually, or should I choose
Just once.
just one? So +2 since I have influence at least. 2d6 +2 should be good. Oh yeah, well.
Oh wow, critical, Jesus. Mega crit, you got double sixes
I won't
too.
level up today, I guess. Then sure.
Yeah, so tell us what that looks like, you convincing them not to go. Like, do you like drag them away, or is it more like you snap sense into them and they can sort of come back for food later?
I
type
would
thing,
say,
or-
would snap sense into them like, come on, we're trying to be sneaky here, and we're not about to risk our cover being blown, just so you can get a little bit of food. We still have some. I can give you some of my rations if you want to, but now's not the time, guys. Later, maybe
Sonia.
when we're going out. Afterwards, okay?
Taisto,
Oh, you're
chill.
right. No, you're right. You're right. Let's go. We should circle around the kitchen so that we don't disturb anyone there. So we could ask the cooks where the Bandamon is.
Well, if I don't think there's as nice as the woodman.
No,
And all
you're right. We should find someone who's if we find someone who's more likely to be on our side, then we should do it. But yeah,
Someone that
let's just
looks,
avoid the kitchen.
Yep.
Let's just avoid the kitchen.
Avoid the kitchen. Yes.
Cool. So you're skipping around the edges of the kitchen. I'm sorry. Sorry, go ahead, Tasto, if you have more.
No, I was just gonna say we just go somewhere other than the kitchen.
Cool. So you like sneak past the entrance to the kitchen. Smells be damned, and start making your way up through the corridor. There's various portraits of Vandemon on the walls, as well as portraits of scenery from outside the Dark Zone that he's managed to procure, as well as some from the human world that have fallen through the sky.
I have so many questions about that last statement, but later.
There's
Later.
There's also like various gargoyles and statues and whatnot that he's managed to obtain. It's very ornately decorated. It has very posh wallpapers and crimson carpets. A lot of the floor, the skirting boards are lined with gold. And you eventually come upon a corridor which has some snow goblimon in it. And they are wearing comedically made outfits and are dusting and wiping surfaces and hoovering and whatnot. What do you do when you come upon these snow goblimon who haven't noticed you yet?
Do you think they work for Ice Devimon, or do you think they would be friends with Snoggermon, or should we avoid them too?
We should do our best to avoid as many people as we can up until we get to Myotismon, honestly.
Yeah, probably. So what's the...
I think they're likely to be working for Ice Devimon, in which case they're probably the most hostile to us out of everyone in the castle.
So wait, let's try to be sneaky then. Where do you think Vandemon's room would be?
I mean, as high, I would presume it's on the top floor. You know,
is your entourage? Does the entourage have some knowledge about this place? Some rumors?
When you ask your entourage for help, you need to make a roll for that.
I do.
And
It's
it's
plus
superior.
superior. Last time
Yeah.
I checked.
Superior sucks. Oh no, we're fucked.
It's only -2. It's fine.
Yes. Well, we never know, I guess.
It's so weird how you don't have influence over them.
That is a little weird, yeah.
Well, that's
Okay, so on a 7 to 9, they're going to make demand of you to tell you the information. So Sonia, from your vision, you know that Vandemon's currently eating dinner. So he's probably in like the dining area rather than his actual room. At least unless he's finished and he's currently travelling through the mansion. But the entourage knows like the general layout of the mansion and where he might be eating, but they are absolutely terrified. They're not supposed to be in this mansion. There's enemies around every corner. The snow goblimon in particular look very frightening to them in those maid outfits that they seem to think is battle armor of some kind that they've never seen before. And they really need you to look out for them. They're like, if we're going to go further in, they need you to absolutely protect them, and if you don't, they will turn on you.
You guys have my word that me and Cutemon here, Cutemon, I'm roping you into this, will protect you 100%.
Yeah, we'll totally do that, right, Zach? He like nudges you with an elbow, like, are we conning them, or are we being?
No, we're
legit?
not conning them, Cutemon.
Aww.
We can
It's
con them
depends on
later
the
once
rule.
they have things.
Holy shit.
Good point. If we give them things, we'll have things to take off of them. It's a perfect con. Why didn't I think of that? Doy. He like smacks his head. So yeah, like Cutemon like literally like is like there's like the scene where you're like sneaking through the corridors and he's like keeping his back to the entourage and protecting them from anything that might see them. How do you sneak past the snow goblimons? This is basically a straight corridor with a bunch of rooms either side. And there's like a big chandelier hanging from the roof that's very ornate and has a bunch of candlemons sat in it, just lighting up the room.
We don't want to make too much of a commotion, but well, Kagayaki can sneak past and Ghostman can sneak past.
I have a terrible idea.
Go for it.
So ultrasound isn't humans can't hear ultrasound. And Cutemon specifically has ultrasonic blasts. So the right frequency, Cutemon could completely shatter that chandelier, creating enough chaos for us to potentially get through without alerting the Snow Goblimon.
But do you want... That would make a lot of noise, so... would it attract a lot more guards to this place?
I could also potentially...
Can you shift your voice with your ultrasonic powers? And
Can Cutemon do that?
What do you mean by shift your voice?
Like make them think their masters are calling them, or some of the superiors, or whatever?
No, his voice is specifically hypersonic blasts.
I see.
So unless their master speaks to them in hypersonic wavelengths, probably not.
Yes.
And there's also the issue that if you did smash the chandelier, you'd hurt the candlemon inside.
That's also true.
That feels like a them problem, to be honest.
Wow.
No.
Oh, wow.
I thought you guys were supposed to be the good guys.
No, I won't hurt the
only when it
Candlemon.
matters.
Do the Candlemons look like they want to be part of the chandelier, or
That's
is
a
it
valid
more...
question.
Yeah.
Do you want to try and see through them?
Well, yeah, sure. Let's go. Let's do it. Let's see through these boys. Well, these Digi boys, or whatever.
You roll plus kind for that.
That should be good. Yes. And not I should, unless I went down and went back. +2. Okay. Okay. Oh, yeah, well.
Well, it's a 7. It's not super bad. So on a 7, you get to ask one question.
I will. Which one would be best? What do you intend to do? How could I get them to help us make a distraction?
Okay, so you'd have to somehow get their attention.
Yes.
And somehow communicate to them that you want them to distract the Goblimon. They're obviously not there by choice. They are basically encaged in that chandelier. And they would be happy to help you, but you'd have to be able to somehow figure out a way to communicate that to them, and that's kind of difficult to do when the Snow Goblimon are just below them.
We do have an invisible ghost.
We do.
Yeah, it feels like just Ghostmon could open the gates and just sort of let them do what they want.
Ghostmon, time to play a prank.
Oh no.
It's prank time.
Did someone say prank?
Ghostmon pulls out a knife.
Just casually takes out a knife. Did someone say prank? Anyway, yeah, Ghostman can pull a prank. Of course he can. How does he do that?
Do you want to describe the prank that you pull on the Snow Goblin with the candle?
Sure.
Because another factoid for you, Candlemon are actually from Witchenly in this version of the universe, and Ghostmon knows that. So essentially, these Candlemon could be old friends of his.
That's primo convenience.
He can speak
I thi-
Witchenly to them.
That's not how that works. I don't think so. So what you're telling me is that Ghostmon and the Candlemon are old study buddies.
Yes.
All right. But didn't Ghostmon lose all his memories?
He regained some of them through.
Right, he
Providence
regained some
Digimon.
of them. That's true. That's of course. Yes, there we go. So sure. So Ghostmon just flies invisibly up to the chandelier, and they were trapped somehow.
Yeah, they're in sort of these little glass domes, keeping them trapped in, and they're basically the light source inside the chandelier. So they're each of the flames.
Right. Ghostmon like gently raps on the glass cages, and then just barely becomes visible so that he attracts the attention of the Candlemon. And it's like, yay, here we hi guys, long time no see. Too bad that one of us couldn't pass JavaScript the JavaScript lessons. So that's how it be. If I let you guys go, are you gonna? Can you help us out in exchange? We need these Snow Goblin gone.
One of the Candlemon pulls out a knife and says, "Prank." No, joking.
And so it's a thing over there, I see.
No, these Candlemon almost definitely want to play a prank on these Goblimon. And as Ghostmon's old study buddies, they always used to play pranks on their teachers back in Witchenly, to sometimes catastrophic effect. But yeah, they're down to prank so long as you let them go.
All right, Ghostmon. Obviously, let's go. Let's go. His old study buddies. It's brutal to have them trapped in here like this. Anyway.
Cool. Could you give me a roll to unleash your powers to release them?
I'd rather not, if I'm entirely honest.
I'm afraid that's how this works. I know
it's 3.
I know it's your worst roll.
It's 3.
Cool. So Ghostmon tries to break the chandelier, but it's really hard for him to sort of melt away the glass. It's obviously made of some kind of very high quality, rich person glass that doesn't melt or break easily. So no matter how hard Ghostmon is trying, the chandelier isn't breaking. And I think...
Well, that's a bad prank.
I think that the heat actually attracts the attention of the Snow Goblimon, who are like very sensitive to hot weather, and I think basically you need to do something now, or they will notice Ghostmon.
Fuck. Who can do something now? Shit. Can we emergency put them to sleep? I don't know. Unless someone has better ideas, stop me now.
We could smash them.
Ghostmon,
But then they would
smash.
definitely. No.
Throw a rock
go.
on the other way.
I mean, the options are that Ghostmon just backs off. He's invisible, so there's that. Or someone does something. You could put them to sleep, but then that kind of defeats the purpose.
Yeah.
I think Dice can. Are there like rocks or pebbles or anything in the corridors?
No, it's an immaculately clean corridor.
Fuck.
Kageaki should
Dice-
probably
Dice-
have some scrap.
Yeah, Kageyaki
Dice
definitely has scrap in
rummages.
them.
Right.
What is the scrap doing in the castle?
Well, I'm assuming that you just
You have-
towing it along
you
with yourself.
No, yeah, but what is the scrap doing in the castle? One that raise flags?
Well, we don't have much choice right now. It's
The point is, and Daisto just grabs some scrap from Kagayaki and tosses it.
I'm a shadow.
Daisto takes off his shoe and tosses it somewhere in the castle to make somewhere in the vicinity to make some noise. At this point, to get the attention of the snow goblin.
Roll to provoke the snow goblin.
I'd rather not, if I'm entirely honest.
This is what happens when you max out your stats.
7.
7 is good.
Aha! Oh, by the way, I forgot to mark potential for the previous one. There we go.
Oh.
Cool. So on a 7,
Well, that's Taisto's dead.
they either stumble, hesitate, or overreact. I'm going to say that they stumble, i.e., they hear the sound behind them and turn their heads and get distracted for a moment, which gives you +1 forward against them if you want to do something while they're distracted.
Yes.
Pulls out knife. Prank.
What do you have? Knife.
All right. So how about let's do it like this. Change of plans can. Oh wait, it shatters the entire chandelier. Do we have any way to break the glass? So then with Ghostmon, because it's not going to happen even with a +1.
I mean, you can obviously use Zachary's idea of high supersonic sound, but it might injure the candlemon inside.
Well, I was actually more like afraid of the chandeliers themselves being. It doesn't matter. It's the best we have. So break the Digimon, you're up.
All right. Cupemon uses their ultrasonic blast to shatter the little glass domes around the Candlemon.
Cool. So you're gonna roll to unleash your powers. If you get
That
a
is
10,
plus unique.
yes, if you get a 10+, you'll do it with no casualties. If you do it with a 7 to 9, the Candlemon inside will be injured, as I've mentioned previously. If you roll a miss, only the Candlemon inside will be injured, and the glass will not shatter.
That's how sound works. Can I use one of my 3 hold to boost myself? It does say supercharge another's efforts.
It has to be another person's efforts.
I don't like that. That makes me sad.
If I had charged, I could do that, but I won't. So fuck you.
Oh, my feelings.
Can I? Do we have team? We have team because I got us a team with my.
Yeah, with
Yes,
your
we have
terrible
one.
So Ghostmon is over there doing something to help out.
Trying to protect the Candlemon if need be.
Okay,
So
I
that
can,
is 2d6 plus 3.
I can probably
Weakening
weaken the
glass
glass
or-
from the inside as well, I guess.
I need a full hit to do this. God damn it.
But you get team from me, so it's 7.
I did the plus 3.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
but you have 2, and you get +1 from the fact that we're acting on the opportunity from the superior.
that's true. There's
And you get
another
a
Oh,
team.
okay. Okay, so it
So
is
it's 7.
7. So
7.
it's not the worst thing in the world, but
It's basically plug your wax ears, please. But yeah, it doesn't really do much.
Cool. So the glass shatters. The Candlemon are free, but not before. So the sound hits the glass and vibrates the glass with the sound, and the sound is echoing inside that glass chamber, and it basically deafens all of the Candlemon in there with this high-pitched sound. It's like
temporarily or
Oh.
permanently?
temporarily.
Temporarily.
And it completely disorientates them as it would if you got discombobulated. So as the glass smashes, they fall out of the chandelier and land on the red pristine carpet, setting it alight.
Oh boy.
That's a big combo if I ever saw one.
This is
All
a
right, I'm gonna
fantastic
roll
way to tell them.
I'm gonna roll plus reckless for Zach.
When Zach see fire.
Yep.
When Zack say fire, but think upon.
I had 9. All right. He's like, that's not a good thing that just happened.
Just ignore it. It's just fire.
The Snow Goblimon
Yes.
immediately.
Stop.
I'm gonna burn down your house.
The Snow Goblimon immediately run away from the fire because they are ice Digimon and are incredibly vulnerable to the heat, and start yelling for help.
Yeah, using my
Oh,
fire
that's not
extinguisher
really-
would be an incredibly bad idea. It would cause the Candlemon to immediately die.
I also need his shoe back.
Is
No
only
shoes for
the
Kaisto.
is only the carpet on fire?
Pardon, sorry?
Is only the carpet on fire?
Only the carpet is on fire right now, but if it spreads, it will catch fire to the
Okay,
wallpapers
so-
and the paintings and whatnot.
I'm going to try and have some Loopmon cut off the part of the carpet that's in flames and then teleport it the fuck out.
So you're going to cut it out so it doesn't spread further than where it is. It's going to be contained in that one
And then
location.
have it fuck off, yes.
Cool. So roll to unleash your powers to see if you can manage that without getting singed.
Okay, I have to... Okay, so that is something that only I or my Digimon can do. With precision, grace, or skill.
Are you the only Digimon in the party that can cut the carpet?
I'm the only Digimon that can
The
cut
only
the
one that could
carpet
teleport it out,
and
though.
teleport it out.
Okay, yeah, I'll give you that.
Okay, so it's a nice little unique, nothing really changes besides that I have better options. That is a 6.
Oh my god, the rolls
Everyone rolling
tonight.
fails. Map potential Kageki, which means you level up as well, which is good. Cool. So I think you teleport in. You slice the carpets to try and prevent the spread of the fire, and it works. The fire isn't spreading along the carpet anymore, but when it has nowhere to go but up, the fire goes up, and it catches light of the wallpaper and the paintings on the
Candlemon-
walls. The Candlemon are just in the fire. They're basically fire immune because of their
But are they on the carpet?
they're on the carpet, yeah.
Not useful.
Oh.
Couldn't you have boosted me, by the way, for that?
We don't have any more team now, so...
I actually
Zachary
can
has
we
all.
can I retroactively boost him with one of my holds?
Ah, right.
I will allow it this time, but usually you have to boost beforehand.
Yes,
So let's retcon
Okay,
what
we'll
just
just do it.
happened then. So it's
No
temporary
fire
or
today!
it's temporary or unstable instead. Unless you didn't want to be boosted, Kageki, and get that potential to level up. It's up to you.
No, I'd rather not have shit go down.
Cool. So yeah, you cut the carpet. It's temporary or unstable, which means that it's contained for now, but it will at some point spread up onto the walls, across the wallpaper, onto the paintings and whatnot, and spread further.
Actually, it's
There's
it's
also
temporary,
the
it's unstable.
Pardon, sorry?
On a hit, choose one. I'm yielding my powers.
Wait, what? Sorry, wait, I was wielding a power. Sorry, not. Sorry,
Yeah.
I didn't realize. I thought you were doing the unleash your power. Sorry.
So I neutralize the threat.
Yeah, so you get to pick one. Sorry, yes. So yeah, the fire gets contained then completely. So I forgot you had wield your powers. I thought you were doing unleash your powers. So yeah,
I got that specifically because I do a lot of specific things.
cool, fair enough. So yeah, you contain the fire by cutting off the carpet deftly, and I assume while you're teleporting in, you maybe like upright the Candlemons so that they're not like spreading the fire further, and then teleport your way out. Cool. So that's the fire contained. The Snow Goblimon are still running off, yelling like, "Help! Fire! Help!"
Well, that's our opportunity then. So we need to dash for it and make our way towards wherever we think Vandemon is. And while we're running there, or legging it, I think Ghostmo might fetch Daisto's shoe that he threw away.
Yeah, he can grab your shoe.
The thoughtful little prankster he is.
Yeah, but not before he ties it to your other shoe.
No, oh no, not helping. Not helping.
The soul is on fire.
But yeah, you get out of the corridor. You need to either silence these Snow Goblimon, or they will alert the Dark Lizardmon that are in the castle, supposedly the guards. And they might also alert Ice Devimon too, considering they're the Snow Goblimons.
Yeah, right. That could be problematic. Can I try to put them to sleep at a distance so they don't see me? So just sneaky bubbles.
Sure.
Maybe.
But Sonia, I have a bit of a devil's bargain for you here. So
Dark temptation, I swear to God.
I'll give you 2 balance on your balance track, allowing you to level up and gain a new blessing.
Oh man.
In exchange, I would like you to use chaotic powers here. Do you accept?
Sonia, you already have portal. You already have the best blessing.
It's true, but it does sound interesting. But I don't want to
chaotic powers.
Yes.
No, stop trying to tempt Sonia to do the chaotic powers. It's gonna put us all to sleep, and then we're gonna die.
Do it, Sonia. Do it.
No.
Do it.
Daisto makes a compelling argument.
It actually makes an even more compelling argument.
That was all you diamond, not Daisto.
Right. I am tempted. I am. But I don't want to kill the Candleman. And I'm sure you're going to make me kill the Candleman.
Yeah, I mean, it feels like every failure that we've made so far is at the detriment of the Candleman.
It's true.
Just vibing.
But the alternative is Ice Devimon is alerted to our presence anyway?
Well, the alternative is you roll normally and just try to use your thing without gaining balance.
Huh. But
yeah,
would manifesting it in all of the worst ways help us prevent that situation?
Oh, of course
Somehow?
it won't. Of course it won't. But you'll get your balance track up. And that's your
So it will actively fuck us over just so I can get some points. Okay.
Yeah, that's what curses do. They're not going to help you. They're the bad part.
Yeah. Oh god.
Well, I'll say no for... I'll just try the normal roll then.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay, good. Let's...
I'm glad that I tempted you so much, though. That's interesting to know.
Yeah.
I'll check and bribe you.
No!
Like, right now, maybe not. I don't want the Candlemon after we just heard them, but...
No, if you Dark Temptation or Chaotic Powers... If you do that during the Myotis...
When you're doing well.
I didn't get what you were saying. You were talking at the same time.
We were just murmuring about when to tempt you. Anyway, just roll the thing.
Unleash your powers is unique, which should be +2. Basic move. Unleash your powers. Okay, yep. +2. I don't assume I have influence over the Snow Goblimon.
Nope, you don't.
Oh no. Well, it works, but you won't be asleep for long then.
Unless you take a condition.
Unless I take a condition? Unless I take... Well, yeah, I could do this, yeah. I could, what would make sense?
You're condition free right now, and it would help us if you need to holy power later.
Afraid or guilty because I just did something bad, or afraid because we're we're getting into trouble with all of this sneaking around.
There's also the afraid because the devil just whispered in your ear and you decided not to
Yes.
listen to it.
Let's do afraid. Like some terrible thoughts cross my head right now. Like no, we can't.
Cool.
Ooh,
So
that's bad.
mark afraid, and
I will be afraid.
your sleep bombs go off as intended and knock out the snow goblimon.
It would have, if I had done this earlier, it would have spared us some headaches. But well,
The candle bomb wouldn't be free.
yeah,
Let's
they
go.
wouldn't be deaf.
Alright, let's keep moving on to the dining room.
Candlemon's
go.
like, what?
Shh. Shh.
I can't hear you.
Okay, I'm back. What did I miss?
Nothing, mate.
Okay,
Nothing, pretty much.
teleports back in.
The devil tempted Sonia. She didn't listen.
Okay,
Interesting.
So let's go. We're moving on towards the dining room.
Yeah, so you make your way through the castle. You come upon this grand staircase with the red rug that goes all the way up it. And opposite that is these two big oak doors that are the front doors, and to the left of that is the dining room, where you can hear the sort of clanking of glass and cutlery. What do you do?
Do we just knock? I mean, we do want to talk.
I say we just open the door and start talking to him and see how he reacts.
All right, let's go with kick open the door.
No, let's not kick open the door.
And kicks open the door.
Knock!
No!
I put myself between the door and
Taisto,
knock.
If you do kick open the door, shift your reckless up and something else down because
Oh damn.
you're acting
Oh
without
damn.
the
I don't want
interest.
I don't want to do that. Fine. Let's not kick open the door.
Like he sees Taisto's eyes light up staring at the door, he puts himself between Taisto and the door and knocks.
Fine. Let's go with that.
None of that.
Good move.
I just look a very
call.
polite knock at the door. He could reasonably think it's like some sort of maid.
I mean, it's like basic etiquette. We're here to talk.
So you knock. Cool.
Yes.
So you hear enter from the other side.
I open the door and I enter the door.
You
And
go in.
me and my entire entourage enter as well.
You first see his eyes widen. You then see him sort of lean forward in his chair and put his wine glass down. And you blink and he's in front of you and he's shaking your hand, whoever entered first.
I did.
Kageyaki, probably.
He's like, oh my gosh, humans! Such a rarity! Ooh, amazing to meet you. I am Lord Vandemon. I own this castle. What can I do for you? Please, take a seat, have some food. And he suddenly clicks his fingers and some of the chairs scoot back.
I mean,
Well, you could start by feeding everyone outside the castle as well.
Yeah, it's just because
Oh,
we're
it's jumping
humans
the gun
doesn't mean
there.
we don't deserve better treatment than your other honored guests here, right, Vamdemon? I mean, everyone here deserves some food.
Of course,
Come
of
on.
course.
Help me out a bit.
Yeah, so Vandemon looks behind you and sees the entourage. And he you see his face sort of drop a little bit and he sort of tusks under his breath. And he's like, fine, they may have seats too. And he clicks his fingers. And you also see him yell out of the door, Ice Devimon! Fetch us more wine!
We're good.
No, no, we're good. No.
You
Oh,
really don't
I-
need more wine, though the image is entertaining, to be honest.
We are under the age we cannot drink. Human
Oh,
rules.
I
sorry.
apologize. I don't know much of humans. I just know that you're incredibly rare.
I don't like where this
did not
conversation's going.
what he said.
He yells out, "Scratch that, Ice Devimon. Our guests won't be needing any beverages." And he closes the door behind him and walks to the head of the table. He sits down in his chair, crosses one leg over the other, and leans back in essentially what is a throne at the end of the table. Picks up his wine glass, takes a delicate sip from it, and he's like, "So, how may I help you?"
Oh boy, is the list long.
Yep,
To start with, we would like you to stop hoarding all the food for yourself and take care of everyone around here without forcing them into poverty and starvation. And, to be your slaves. That would be a great start.
An amazing start, in fact.
Yeah.
Well, a great start with the conversation.
Using the S word might be a bit.
He takes another delicate sip of his wine, puts it down on the table, claps twice, and some red Vegemon come in with some meat and start laying the table in front of you all. And he says, "It's terrible what's happening out there, is it not? Digimon living in poverty. I do offer them jobs in my castle if they do want payment and if they do want to make an honest living. You can even ask my chefs here. They will tell you exactly that. But obviously, not everyone wants such a way of life."
Mhm.
And he sort of glares at the entourage, and they sort of cower behind Zachary.
I don't think they don't want to work, but even if they didn't, I'm not sure you could offer jobs for every single Digimon residing in the dark area. So
And besides, just because they aren't working for you doesn't make them any less worthy of basic, I'm going to use a phrase here that doesn't quite make sense in context, but basic human rights. Human rights? Digital rights? My point stands.
He leans forward and is like, "I'll have you know, I earned these bits. They're mine, and I can spend them how I like. I don't have
Okay,
to
this is a
give
metaphor for
charitably
capitalism.
to the poor if I don't want to. I offer them work, and if they accept, then they can happily work here and live in the servants' quarters and eat my food. But if they don't, and they're not going to be of use to me, I don't see why I should have to share my money, my wealth, my food, and my home with a bunch of people who don't want to earn it."
it's not that they don't want to earn it, it's just that they are under the impression that giving all of their food to you is the way to prevent some sort of curse. Do you know anything about that? Because
Ah, yes, the curse. You see, that isn't even my fault. No, those
Oh, then you'd be willing to give them all of their food back
evil.
that they gave to you for the curse.
I purchased this food and grew it in my own garden, thank you very much.
Cutemon, let's start this grift. I pull up my Digivice and evolve Cutemon to Unimon.
No, hold on. We're not done talking yet.
What is happening?
I just put my hand over Zach's mouth and just.
And Tice just
Come on.
Tice takes his hand and presses it away, puts the Digivice down, forces the Digivice down. Let's not go there just yet.
I think when you bring out the
What about-
Digivice, his eyes widen again, and he's like, "A Digivice? Ooh, Digi-destined humans. Even more rare."
I'd like to
He
clarify
He
that the
visibly,
legends that we picked up shit are false.
he visibly licks his lips when he says the word
Oh, I
rare.
have some Caraman flashback right now. Oh.
Why
think it
can't
was-
we kill him?
He
All right.
leans towards Zachary and says, "How much do you want for that device in front of you? I can offer you a healthy sum that'll allow you to live the rest of your days incredibly happy. If only you
What do I
allow me
want
to
for my
add that to my
Digivice?
collection. And you see
What do I want?
Cutemon's eyes light up at the prospect of having a lot of money right now.
Cute
We have
mon?
infinite money. It generates infinite money.
Infinite temporary money.
Myodosmon or Vamdemon? What I want for my Digivice? You couldn't pay me in your entire multiple lifetimes.
Have we worded that better? Okay, so basically we kind of need that to fix everything.
Listen.
So they're not for sale.
Very well. I guess I can't have everything. At least, not without time, he says. And he starts digging into a big rare steak that's been put in front of him. He's like, feel free to
Utterly
start
away.
eating. It's not poison, I can assure you. Only the finest ingredients from my garden.
So what about that curse?
Yeah, about the curse.
Ah, yes, that's down to those menacing Vortex warriors that murdered my boss several years ago. Horrible things, those Digimon. Always standing on the toes of us virus Digimon. Could never see eye to eye with us. Sealed us away in this desolate, decrepit place. I once lorded over an actual state, I'll have you know. I used to be loved by the
Right.
citizens of my city. But there's just nothing here. I can't do anything with this barren wasteland with scrap in it. I just dig out the diamonds in the rough and preserve them here until we can be released.
About that, do you know if it is possible to turn this land fertile again, or is there like some sort of curse keeping it infertile?
The dark area itself yields no sunlight, yields no water. There's nothing that grows here. The only things that grow are in my garden, and that's because I've employed the services of a dear old friend of mine.
And about that beautiful tree out in your garden. If nothing grows naturally here in the dark area, where did you get it from?
Why, that's my dear old friend. He's planted roots down in my castle, shall we say.
Uh-huh.
Did he mean to plant roots in your garden?
Why, yes, he did. In fact, he had no choice in the matter. He had to.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I thought.
I didn't force him. He
You just
had
simply gave
to.
him. You simply gave him no other option. I
Oh, no,
understand
no,
completely.
no. I didn't give him no other option. It was those Digimon outside the dark area that gave him no other option but to work alongside me and create food for their castle for us to sustain ourselves and remain strong for the dark return of the Dark Lord, and so that we may exit the dark area and return to normalcy.
Well, some little flowers told me that you have a personal
Don't mention,
There,
don't mention the flowers.
a little birdie told me that
Yes.
you have a personal distaste for, for that old friend of yours. Care to elaborate on that?
Oh, I have
How
no
was
such
it?
distaste. You see,
Oh,
the people of the outside world, they didn't like my friend too much. He used to rule over an entire forest to himself, and well, he made it
unlike
very
what you did.
difficult to explore. And so, instead of, approaching him, making reasonable demands, they banished him here. He's not even a virus-type Digimon. But I gave him shelter in my castle, and in exchange, he gives me crops, and place to grow my meat. I do like a succulent, rare piece of meat, he says as he takes another bite of his extremely rare steak.
So,
admitting, yes, I'm sure that your dear friend wants to help, but is there a way that you could perhaps help everyone else?
And why would I do that? Is there anything in it for me? He says.
Well,
because
if the land is more prosperous, then there's going to be more resources and more citizens living there. And we're the Digidestined, as you know, so we come from faraway lands, and we could use our many connections to bring way more people here, and you make this land closer to the estate that you once had. No? If more people are happy, then you will benefit from it in the long run, don't you think?
Without sunlight and without water, there's not a lot that the other citizens of this desolate and decrepit place can offer me.
You
Actually-
We would have to shut down the barrier of the Dark Zone and allow us to mingle with the outside world once more. Though I
You are the
doubt
entire
you would
reason
allow
I don't
that.
want to do that.
Right now, you Vandemon are embodying everything that is said to be wrong about the Digimon of the Dark area. You're greedy and sleazy, and you hoard all the resources for yourself without any care for anyone else in the Dark Zone. You are sitting on a pile of food that you do not share in the middle of a great amount of wealth and power, and you do nothing to help those who are in a weaker position than yourself. You are disgusting. And
You're a
you
lazy
are
allegory
a
for capitalism.
Oh boy.
and you are and you are exactly the reason why the Dark Zone remains barred away from the rest of the digital world. I would love to take off from here and go back to the digital world, the rest of the digital world, and say that everyone here in the Dark Zone is a great example of digital camaraderie and deserves to be integrated with the rest of the world. But as long as you keep behaving like this, that cannot be the case. You are the reason why everything is so bleak around here, and you need to pull yourself together, pull yourself up by the bootstraps, and start helping instead of hoarding.
I
Do you
know
understand?
Guys, I know how you
I
feel,
think
but
he shatters the glass that he's holding in his hand.
yeah, I was afraid. I
Oh
was
my fucking god.
Ah,
Kick a little ass.
You blink, and as you open your eyes, you're up against the wall, being held by some force. And he's like,
Taisto or Zachary?
Taisto and Zachary.
Oh. Oh, good. Both of us. Yay!
And
I'm
he
helping.
says, I was told humans had manners. You are guests in
These
my home.
are
I have
manners.
fed you graciously. I have offered you wine, and I have offered you my services so long as you were reasonable. Seems you're not reasonable.
no.
He zooms forward and comes literally inches from Taisto's face.
He's holding us against the wall.
Taisto.
How far can he zoom forward?
Long arms.
It was an invisible power that held us against the wall, and now he's zooming forward.
He flits forward towards Taisto and says, I'll have you know, the people of this land starve and die and beg and are desperate, not because of me, who has worked to make this castle, to make a garden that can feed himself, to use his bits wisely, to aid the revival of his master. Everyone is starving here because of those high and mighty, haughty angels that sit in their sky palaces and look down upon us with despicable taste, thinking we're the problem.
There are sky castles?
There are angels?
Anyway,
No, my friends, don't.
and right now you are proving them right.
I still, come on, shut up for a moment. I know how you feel, but antagonizing the one with all of the power, with a ton of gods, right now with Ice Devimon, it might not be the best idea.
Cutemon, let's rob him blind.
Come on, Cutemon, please.
Fucking god.
Cutemon, please, come down. Don't listen to sacrifice.
Even if I were to share my food and my wealth with the rest of the denizens of the Dark Zone, it would not be enough. They would live happily for maybe 2-3 weeks, and then we'd be out of food, starving, and even I would be desperate. I would lose my wealth, and I would become just as powerless as everybody else. You have no
Good.
foresight.
Oh,
The reason I have worked so hard to maintain my castle and my stature and my power is because when we do get out of the Dark Zone, those angels who have put us in this position are first on the list. He sits back down in his chair.
I spend my last gold to channel a burst.
you not!
Calm the fuck down. Calm the
No.
fuck down.
No!
Okay. Jesus Christ, stop!
He leans forward and he says, "Listen, if there were no angels, and we weren't sealed away in this Dark Zone, every single citizen of this land would have food, shelter, a home, and sunlight and water to sustain them. It's not my fault the angels stripped that from them."
Listen, yes.
Christian, you've been here for a while, right?
I've been here my whole life
Do
until
you
it
know
was sealed away.
what sort of technology is inside the Barren Wasteland? Like, I'm seeing glasses and all devices everywhere.
Sorry, what's
If
that?
I ask you, all the random devices that I've seen in that are really old. Okay, so I'm really scratching the bottom of the barrel here, trying to help. Because holy shit, this place is not livable. But is there any possibility that there would be a way to create artificial light from the scraps and devices scattered around?
It would be a huge ask. If you were to do it, it will take weeks to do it. In fact, it probably take months to do it, to implement it around the entire Dark Zone. You'd have to figure out how to do it. You are incredibly intelligent, but I don't think you've done much with light, with artificial sunlight. I think you do a lot more to do with like AI and technology and.
Yeah, but I do have an
computers and
internet connection and I'm a fucking genius.
And you'll probably need a lot of material to do it. You're going to have to dismantle various pieces of technology from around the Dark Zone to make it, and probably enlist the help of all the denizens there to sort of gather the materials you need to do that, and they're very weak and desperate at the moment.
Alternatively, Kagayaki, we can ask Digimon to put down the barrier a little bit to help the little ones get away.
You
No.
won't do that, so...
Well,
I mean, once Myotismon is dealt with, I think we have a very solid argument to bring down the barrier all the way.
What do you mean? I'm trying to fucking make this
Logan, we're
place
not
livable.
going
Can you
to
shut
eat
up
the
for 5
rich.
minutes?
Just so you're aware,
Let me-
Myotismon isn't the only Dark General that was left behind. There are a plethora
Yeah.
of other Dark Digimon. This is just one of many.
We should still kill him.
Jesus
We're not
Christ,
going
stop.
to eat the rich. He's not capitalism. He's
Yes, so he literally is capitalism. Antonomy
he's not.
I did
not.
like 12 capitalisms in that whole speech.
No.
Yeah,
He's
I
not.
know.
He's. Anyway, we're not going to kill him unless he like actually does something weird. We're going to. We need.
Also, he's almost certainly going to try to put us in a collection, but that's
Oh, he's definitely trying to eat us or something. But you know, we'll get there. We'll cross the bridge when we get to it.
when we get there, we'll
Jesus
kill him.
Christ. I'll put it
First
this
of all-
way. We know that one of the statues are being protected by probably
Yes.
the best force of protection we have available.
Yes.
We
Uh,
theoretically have time.
I was
Making
gonna- I
this
was gonna-
presentable is a big thing.
I was going to say, because Daisto is obviously steaming in his pile of ideology here. Could Kagayaki make some kind of like progress on actually what we're trying to achieve? Like ask him about the statues or something like that.
I'm kind of
Because
focused on...
because if Kagayaki isn't going to ask that, I'm going to start spouting more ideology, and that's going to just escalate the situation further.
My fucking god, you people are impossible to work with. Holy shit.
We know people from the outside, and we can get from the outside, so we can possibly bring back more technology, not now, but later on, and bring back more water to help make the situation more livable. However, the war that you're planning, well, against the angels might not really fly very well. Because people on both sides are upset for a lot of reasons that are going a bit over my head because it's a little complicated, yes, but we can make peace, make truce, and try to right the wrongs of the past and make the situation better for everybody. We don't want you any harm, and believe it or not, and I'm sorry if my friends made you angry, but we've been through a very long journey, and we've met a lot of people, so we don't have all of the patience in the world. I'm sorry about that, but we really have your best intentions in mind. Trust us.
Listen, if you can prove your usefulness to me, I will listen to your demands and attempt to aid the citizens of my domain. I can't promise the entire Dark Zone. I can promise the citizens that live nearby my castle will be seen to.
That would be good, right, guys? That would be good, right?
I'm
To
getting a
start,
headache.
That would be a good start. The problem is that how would we prove that we're useful to you?
Well, you see, you aren't the only humans in the Dark Zone right now.
God
Oh.
damn it.
wait, what? Did you say?
Does one of them happen to go by the name Inari?
I know not of their names. They're just...
Oh yeah, you don't know our
There.
names either.
There are-
Good.
There are. Did you say there? There are multiple.
They are multiple humans in the digital world right now.
Oh,
But in the dark area.
what? Nani?
They're persistent. They take and ravage what little that land has. And, well, they don't particularly like the idea of a lord in a castle with all the powers in this world. And so they're slowly taking down all the generals in the dark area using various unsavory methods. He
Good for
First
them.
time I've heard of
Oh my
this.
fucking god.
snaps a
Good
finger
for them.
and he shows what looks to be like a military personnel wielding a gun.
What
I
the
have so many
fuck?
questions.
Oh my
Oh.
fucking god. Come on.
Can you describe the gear of the military person wielding a gun?
Yeah, can I assess the situation?
Yeah, sure.
What do I add to that? Superior?
Yes.
Ooh, that's a -2. Yeehaw.
Oh god, fuck.
5.
You don't
know
know
nothing.
shit.
Yeah, you don't know shit about the situation, unfortunately. In fact, I think it surprises you so much to see someone from the Helsinki military in the digital world that and that they're wielding a gun. That you're too startled to even like start thinking about that, about like assessing what's going on. I think you feel very hopeless.
Are you telling me to mark a condition?
Yes.
Ooh boy. There's no more holy power for me.
Yeah, so yeah, he shows this this it seems to be a hologram, but he conjured it with magic of what the humans look like. He then waves his hand and shows you what looks to be like a military encampment base looking thing. It has scientists and various humans doing tests on the ground there and whatnot. And Kageaki, you notice, like, in the group of humans is your dad.
Of course.
I am
As you do.
going to roll reckless to see if I just say what the fuck.
And the text to your dad, Dad, what the fuck?
That is a low, so I don't become reckless.
Oh.
Okay.
No.
What?
Wouldn't rolling low mean you do become reckless? Like
No,
you take a
Fail at
you
being
take a
reckless.
worse action?
Not in this case, I was very specific. I'm rolling a reckless. It didn't work, so it's fluff roll anyways. Come the fuck on now.
Yeah, it's a fluff roll, it's fine. Kageki can play his character however he wants to play. But yeah, your dad has
That's fair.
come to the digital world. From your knowledge, you know your dad is a renowned scientist who has been trying for ages to open dimensions to parallel worlds. And he has several military ties and connections. You barely ever see him because of all the experiments that he's doing, but he entrusted you to help work on that, and that's how you ended up in the digital worlds, if you remember from our flashback. So the fact that he's here means that he's probably searching for you.
Okay, yeah, we can probably talk to them. I hope.
Yes, we can, and if we stop them from hurting people here, you will help people around your castle, right?
That's the deal. Take it
Yes.
or leave it, he says.
Also, could you not talk about us with Ice Devimon? We're trying to make keep our presence here a surprise from him. Yes.
He raises his eyebrow at you and is like, "What business do you have with my personal butler?"
Oh,
Literally
well,
none. That's the point.
yes, none for now. You know, it is surprises. We don't want to spoil it too soon. But
If I
don't
should
worry.
be concerned about one of my employees, I would rather know than not.
Concern.
Yeah,
Should we tell Kagayaki? Should we tell him about the Ice Lord and stuff?
chances are Ice Devil is going to make the situation worse, so yes, fuck it. You should probably keep an eye on him.
And why might I do that?
Ice Devimon is working for the Ice Sorcerer, who is going to come back and do whatever. He probably sounds like someone your bunch doesn't want to interact with.
The important fact is that he used to be quite the known scam artist, so take everything he says with a grain of salt.
Scratches his chin and he says under his breath, "Ice sorcerer, huh?
That was a big
I will
mistake.
have to
Oh boy.
speak with Ice Devimon later. I will
Hello,
bear in
what's
mind
your-
your warning,
we
young ones.
we literally asked you not to speak with him about this, but
Speak with him if
I
you want,
shall
but don't mention
not-
us.
I shall not mention you. You shall
Okay,
remain
okay, that's-
anonymous. Though I shall inquire about this Ice Sorcerer, and I shall bear in mind your warning that he may, how did you put it, con me? I don't see that happening. I've been quite careful with who I hire. This person was, in fact, directly recommended me by an old friend.
This old
How
friend.
many old friends do you have?
Yeah, it feels like you have a lot of friends that you don't have great relationships with anymore.
I've been alive in the digital world for a very long time, I'll have you know.
Out of curiosity, may we ask who this old friend is?
Why, yes, it's my friends from Witchinley, the Wizardmon brothers, the Sorcerermon brothers. Sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that
Now
makes
can we
sense.
kill him?
No!
Why
No, we
not?
They
not here to eat.
personally recommended this butler to be highly trustworthy and be one of the best they've ever had, and that he was moving to the digital world, and they recommended I hire him.
Yeah,
You
about
do realize
the-
that he's working with them to. It's a whole conspiracy. Do with it what you will, but he's not trustworthy, and neither are your
stepping in
sorcerermon
a
friends.
minefield. You're stepping in
Not-
a minefield.
It's
Not-
most
not to
curious. The
mention that-
Sorcerermon are
well-
typically the most trusting Digimon I know.
Oh man.
I
It's-
bet they are.
It's really complicated, okay? We're still trying to figure out what exactly is going on. They refuse to actually give us any information. It's weird.
Fair
Anyway, you better keep your word when we come back with with what you asked for, or we'll make you keep your word.
Yeah.
Let's go.
by eating the rich.
Just
What I can promise you is
Agree.
that we're actually trying to help everything, including this place.
Yeah, of course we're trying to help everything.
That's the
friends
that's the entire point.
My friends
That
are
is
just a bit hot-headed every now and then.
Yes, it happens sometimes.
he realizes that he's been holding them against the wall this whole time, and he's like, "Oh, my apologies," and he like waves his hands and drops you to the ground. He's like, "I'm sorry, I too lose my temper sometimes."
Oh,
when,
wonderful airflow! Oh, I can breathe air again!
He hasn't been choking you; he's just been holding you against the wall.
Zachary has a very low
Pinky.
constitution.
But yeah, he basically says that he's a man of his word. You can trust him, and you get the sense that you can. Like he doesn't like to stab people in the back. He likes to make an honest living, even if he is a bit greedy. He will offer people deals, and if they accept it, they accept it. It's on them that if they uphold their end of the bargain, he also upholds his end of the bargain. Basically, it's what he does. One thing is, just before you all leave, obviously it's coming towards the end of the session, so we won't dwell on it too long. You didn't ask about the statue in the end, aside from the fact that he has a
Completely
curse.
forgot.
Yeah,
Well,
Not
Yeah.
yet. We'll probably get back to it when we get back from the side quest.
Okay, that's
yeah,
fine.
it's a bit of a clusterfuck.
Sure.
Hope.
No worries. Okay, so we'll cut off there. You're about to set off towards the military encampment.
I didn't even get to do my moment of truth.
You might be able to do it next session, potentially.
I wanted to
I only got
murder
to
him
stand
with
up for
a
something
Digimon.
once.
Can you stop?
Why do you want to murder
You-
him so badly? Like, I know he's not the
It's-
best person. Like, he's not like evil though. He's made himself a living and doesn't want to share
He's
it.
literally a greedy capitalist. You have perfectly
You-
pinged my wanting to murder him.
Your partner is cute, man. I mean, come on.
I will.
Yeah, like-
I will check off my goal for today, which is cause disdain towards Paimon.
I'm going to be honest with you.
You have made
Someone
you
deserves
made him a
more
greedy
rest than him.
capitalist who wants to help no one because he thinks that they need to earn themselves a better living,
Hey,
even when he's made efforts to make that not possible.
He didn't say that he didn't want to help them. He said that he didn't want to help them if it had no benefit to him. Now he's helping
Yeah,
them
no,
because it
that's
has a
the-
benefit to him.
Yeah.
That's the
You
problem.
hit Logan's wanting to eat the rich in real life, sense here. So that's why he's
I am basically basing him off of like every politician.
Yeah,
That's even-
that's the problem.
It's kind of funny how
Vote
you're
for
more
Van
upset
Diemen's.
him than the
I'm-
racist
I'm-
old man leaving an entire
Yeah.
generation of Digimon to die just because he doesn't want to deal with them.
if you're basing him off of every politician, then I'm really sorry for you. But do we get to do the end of session stuff?
Yes. So at the end of the session, you all add a potential if you want to. It's optional.
Lovely.
I will level up.
I'm going to go ahead and take. I'll save you. I think. From love, I'll save you. Yeah.
Cool. So I'll save you for everyone who doesn't know is that you can mark a condition or sacrifice something important to you to defend a loved one as if you're
I do know this because I took it earlier as
The
well.
question is, does Kageyaki have loved ones?
No.
I mean, I count it like I have a bit of a hero complex right now.
Yeah, you want to protect the others. That makes sense. So, shall we start with Sonia? Did you grow closer to the others, further away from the others, or into your own image of yourself?
I'm level 7, eh? That's nice.
First I level up and I'll take the moment of truth.
When I think ultimate level 1 must have an is perfect.
Yes. What should I do? I'd say either grow closer to Taisto because he gave me the goggles, but that was a little thing. I don't know if I know the significance behind the goggles myself as a character, so I might not. I might not think. I might be a bit more.
Wait, do I really need to start brooding over the goggles more?
Yes.
Oh,
Probably.
It just seems so anti collaborative as a token to brood over, but I guess I'll have to start doing that.
Oh, it's fine. Probably Savior or Reckless because I tried to maybe not Reckless, Savior because I tried to save the situation and not escalate it. So minus Reckless and plus Savior seems about right.
Okay. And Zachary?
I'm willing to say that I think I grew into my own image of myself.
Mm-hmm.
Because turns out Zach has a pretty strong hatred of people who just inherently hoard wealth. Who hoard wealth without helping others, even if they have more than enough wealth to do so and still be comfortable.
So what are you raising and what are you lowering?
I am going to. I am going to raise Reckless and lower Unique.
Cool. Also, just so you're aware, you might need to clear some conditions because you.
Yes, I have 5.
I guess you took action without talking to your team, so Insecure would go. At the very least. If you can see any others that you've hit the condition for clearing, go ahead and clear them.
I think I was going to say it, but I forgot. I think when he gave food to the Digimon trailing behind us, that would have been a sacrifice to absolve guilt.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
It should
Sacrifice
have
to
cleared
absolve
guilty.
guilt. I'm gonna clear angry because I did accidentally hurt those Candlemon.
Yes, you did. Yeah, so clear angry, guilty, and insecure.
Let's see. Can I clear anything else? I want to.
Is raving against the evil capitalist flinging oneself to easy relief
Not
by painting
really.
himself as too easy of a target?
I mean, technically, he's not evil. He's just not a very nice
He's evil.
person.
Well,
evil.
from Zachary's point of view,
Dude is strongly lawful evil.
Yeah, he's very lawful evil. I'll give you that.
You just said that he's evil.
Yeah, lawful evil aligned, but he
Terrible.
himself is not an actual evil Digimon. Like, he does want the best for his people, he just can't provide it.
No. he doesn't want the best for them because he chooses to not provide it, even though he has the resources to.
He just told you that his food would be gone in 3 weeks if he gave away his resources.
Couldn't he have, like, opened up his phone? It feels like there's something that he's hiding.
Nothing fucking grows here.
I cleared the conditions that I think I can clear.
Cool. Kageyaki, what do you choose for the end?
I'm going to do a spicy meatball.
Okay.
So, Zachary was a pain in the fucking ass today.
For good reason, but...
For a good reason, but Jesus Christ. And for that reason, I'm starting to feel a bit iffy. Like, I'll still keep an eye on the kid, but I'm going to take influence away.
Okay, so Zachary, you lose influence over Kageyaki if you had it.
Oh, I don't think I had it.
Like, Jesus Christ, mate. You and Taisto actively trying to get us killed.
We
So,
could,
did
we
you
could, we have
Dice-
two
Dice-
perfects.
Dice could have easily handled it, but is there anything else you want to say?
No, I'm fine.
Yeah,
You
we
go,
have-
go on to Taisto.
Okay. So, because I actually agree. Daisto has been, what's the word? Observing Zachary's behavior here, and he's being quite put off with it. They seem to have a very similar approach, but in the end, Daisto feels like Zachary's, out for blood instead of trying to actually solve the problem. He fears that maybe Daisto's own behavior has influenced this kind of reckless, vengeful streak in Zachary, and I think in the end he's also grown away from Zachary during this session. So I'm going to take
Ouch.
influence over Daisto from Zachary as well.
Zach is
Sorry.
going into timeout today.
It's not a bad thing to pick that option. Like, it's nothing against Zachary as a character. It's nothing against the person role-playing Zachary.
No.
It's literally just the character himself feels detached from Zachary as a character. Like, it's not a bad thing.
Yeah, no,
it's just the character.
we have the same goal, so that's good.
You
I'm
know,
gonna try. I sounded like I was gonna follow that up with something, but I actually wasn't gonna do that. So
I still want to keep the kid safe, but holy shit, he makes it hard.
no. We just need to. Our characters just need to take a softer approach with him. Maybe guide him to the path of not cannibalizing Vandemon.
Perhaps don't
Unless
kill the
he
only
provokes
person
it.
of influence you can make your ally. Slightly important.
What?
Perhaps don't kill the only person of influence you can ally with.
I'm sure there are other dark general, ex-dark generals, but yeah,
So I just want to.
I think that's it.
I want to check as well. I tried very, very hard to make this your request that you made at the end of the last actual episode, where you said you wanted an unexpected team up with somebody that you may not like. did that work?
He's an asshole, but I feel like in a way,
I think-
unless he's hiding a lot of cards, we can see eye to eye potentially.
Yeah, he doesn't have to share all his cards with you just because you're ally.
It almost didn't work, I guess.
Yeah, the important part is what cards he's hiding.
I also did the whole Digimon was wrong one, because, not everyone in the Dark Zone's an evil dickhead.
Yeah,
Only
Digimon's
a
a
few.
asshole. We knew that from the moment he opened his mouth.
Makes good cocoa, though.
Next time on Digimon Vortex, what would you like to see?
First, beforehand, would you say I protected my friends which are innocent in this game?
What do you mean? Who did you protect? Sorry.
My friends from their own reckless actions. Protected innocents.
I don't
Because-
think they were technically innocent in that way because they were like doing something
But
reckless.
they brought.
We were
Jack
actively
brought-
provoking him. We were actively provoking him. You can't
Jack
count as
brought-
innocent.
So he was actively provoking us. I wanted
He
to
was trying to
When the
talk.
move says innocence, it usually means like non-player character innocence, like the
Zack
entourage
brought
that
an
Zach's
entourage.
brought. I don't think you like actively protected those NPCs.
By the way, he was awful bold and just sort of talking shit about the entourage.
Yeah, he doesn't like people that don't work for their living. Apparently,
Natural.
almost like he's an evil capitalist.
almost like that indeed.
Oh, come. Oh, God.
Yeah. So next time on Digimon, shall we go around the table? So let's start with Taisto this time, and we'll go back around the other way.
We get an epic battle. Sorry. That was. The chosen ones find themselves confronted in an epic clash. Let's go with that. Yeah.
Cool. I've written down epic battle because that's what you said first, and that encompasses everything. Kageyaki, what do you want to see next time?
Magabelmon actually gets to fucking do something.
Sorry, who gets to do something?
Magabelmon.
You keep
Matadormon.
Matadormon. Okay, sorry. Yeah, you keep cutting out, so I couldn't hear what you were saying, and maybe it's my internet connection. So Matadormon plays a key role.
Why would we say epic battle twice in a row?
Look, okay, I want to perfect so many episodes ago. I want to actually fucking do something with him.
Sonia. No, Zachary, sorry.
I also would enjoy I would enjoy a conflict that is worthy of a moment of truth,
Cool. Zach.
which
let's see.
I was trying to cause, but clearly did not succeed.
Yeah, you kind of want those moments to be organic and not forced, so...
It wasn't
when it comes up, it'll happen.
forced. Yeah,
I will-
it was pretty organic. You guys just didn't want it to happen.
I'll set up a situation where it's worthy of the MOT.
We were going in the hopes of negotiating with the guy.
Well,
And
he
at
shouldn't
the
have been
first sign-
evil.
At the first sign, he was maybe a little bit of a dickwit.
I feel like
We
I
were
need to
like-
make Myotismon like more of a prominent villain and not just a side villain at this point because you really hate him that much. But yeah.
I'm sure he classifies as a villain.
Right, so Sonia, are you going to say epic battle for the 4th time in a row? Or are you going to go
Yes,
with
of
something
course.
else?
What's your take on this this epic battle? Make it as complicated as possible.
Well, since we're going to see the humans, we might make a choice of faction that we do not necessarily want to make.
Okay, so.
Or we'll be forced to pick a side.
Yes.
I want to be able to tackle that.
Oh.
In this epic battle, yes.
I mean, there's also the idea that you might not be forced to pick a side, but you might be forced to choose between going home and staying to protect the world.
Right, well, we'll
Make
find out.
a hard
We'll find
choice.
out. Guess
Make
we'll
a hard
find out.
choice, whatever it is.
Well, I know that I'm not going home. This world is fucked. I want to actually help it before I leave.
Farewell.
And then it's just me, I guess. So I think next time what I want to see is, I think I want to develop more of the human side of the story.
Yes, that would be nice.
Okay, as long as you're not taking notes from savers, we'll be fine.
I barely remember what happened in Savers, I'm not gonna lie.
I'm
watched it
taking
when I
about
was-
the army.
I watched it when I was like 11, and then I haven't really watched it since, so...
Oh, wow.
You should. We stand savers. Savers is the shit.
I mean, it's really good.
How about we don't get into that at the moment?
Yeah,
Do we get an after credit scene?
Yeah. So,
Ooh.
I think we get a shot of the military base. They have captured several of the denizens of the Dark World, and they're doing experiments on them in labs.
No.
Oh, of course. Yep.
That's going well.
There it is.
And what they seem to be doing, or what Kageki's dad seems to be doing, is
Oh, no.
draining the energy, or I suppose the bits, out of some of them, and basically
Oh my
deleting
God.
them, and feeding
Jesus
them
Christ.
to the one in the middle, who is slowly evolving to become bigger and more monstrous and more chaotic. And
You know?
we see Kageyaki's dad smiling at the prospect that he is making this super weapon to find his son, and if he makes it very powerful, nothing can stop him, not even these weird aliens from the other dimension that seem to be attacking them.
Holy shit. So, you know, the real next time on Digimon Vortex, we mean someone who is not a total dick. That would be a nice change of pace.
That may or may not murder Kageyaki's
I
dad.
think Leomon wasn't a complete and total dick. I think, yeah.
You know what could be the finest fucking shit ever? The Chimera is actually impossible to talk to. That would be hilarious.
Yeah, I think he's not being a dick in a sense. He's come to this strange new world. He wants to find his son that's trapped there, and these
And he's come
aliens
to
have
a
attacked
terrible
him.
conclusion.
And these aliens that have attacked him, he's basically gone, well, they attacked us, so I'm going to use them to find my son, basically.
That's still no.
It's fucked up, but they weren't sentient to him. Like he didn't realize that they could talk and speak and reason. He thought they're just animals. Like
I'm fairly certain they're
Even
actively
then.
screaming in agony as he experiments on them.
yeah, but he drowns
Well,
them
we'll
out.
get-
He
we'll
doesn't-
get-
he's
we'll-
not a very
we'll
sociable
get-
person.
No, we'll get to knock some.
You know, you see, it's been
knock
established.
some fucking sense into him.
Our
and-
devices translate Digispeak.
Oh.
Oh yeah, that is true. Yeah, your digivices do translate Digispeak.
He cannot fucking understand them.
Even then.
Well, so maybe once he hears them screaming out in agony and crying for help, that he'll realize,
We'll get
But
to.
we'll get to that next session.
Yes, or
Yeah,
Kageyaki
yeah.
gets to knock some fucking sense into him, or since everyone stole Einari from me, I'm going to punch the shit out of him, and we'll
put him in a
get it done.
headlock.
Listen in the kidney. Listen in the kidney, like I need anal.
Alright, later, skaters.
Cool.
Yeah, so
Alright,
guys
yes,
in 5
thanks-
months when
thanks-
we'll play
thanks for the
again.
session.
Yeah, next session
Yep.
will be next Sunday, unless anyone has any like urgent I can't make it so
Right.
that make us 3 or less players.
Of course.
So in 5
We'll have to
months.
ask
So-
Pablo.
See you next year, I guess.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not that far away.
So next time on the next episode of Digimon, flashback hell.
Oh, part 2.
All right. Yeah. See you guys next week.
Catch you later, guys.
Alright.
See you next week. Bye bye.
Well, end of this week, but yeah. Okay. Bye.
Yep.